What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 595. Episode number 595 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to remind everybody who's listening to me right now to please spread it around like wildfire. All right, spread this show link around like wildfire. Go to the blogs, go to the forum posts, go to the chat rooms, go everywhere throughout the internet, throughout the world, and spread it around and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And it is ghost.report, baby. All right, that's all you have to type in your browser. It's as simple as that. Add it to your bookmarks, add it to your favorites, ghost.report. That's all you got to type in your browser, baby. We independent now! And I'm loving every minute of it. All right? Now, on top of that, folks, I'd like to also ask everybody to please follow me on my only social media representation on the internet, and that's on Gab, folks. If you don't have yourself a free Gab account, then I don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, Gab is the last bastion of freedom of speech in social media today, so if you don't have your free Gab account, well then, by God, get yourself one right now. All right, and you can type in your browser, get to Gab by typing in your browser right now, gab.ai, gab.ai, and you can follow me on that social media. Follow me under the name Politics Ghost, okay? It's as simple as that, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And by the way, I want to say what's going on to everybody that's in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on, baby? I want to say what's going on to everybody in there. If you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room with it, by God, it's as easy as this. All right, follow these simple steps right here if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Remember, we're doing all kinds of internet tomfoolery in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, baby. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, we're... I mean, what do we do? We dox QAnon. You know, we even called up some Pajeets. You know, those Pajeets. You know, you get those viruses that pop up when you're, going around the internets in parts that you're not supposed to. You know, the thing pops up. Your computer has a virus, and the only way you can take it out is by calling 1-800. And we call these numbers, and I'm telling you, it's just we do a bunch of stuff. I don't want to air out all the 411 of what we do in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, but I appreciate these guys, man. All right? I love these guys. I'm not joking around. So cheers to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. And not to mention what's going on to the inner circle. If you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, then all you got to do is go to my Gab right now. Okay, go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, and click the subscribe button for premium content. All right, it's as simple as that. Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all right? It's as simple as that. Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. It is Monday, July 23rd, 2018. Good God, time flies, doesn't it, folks? Anyway, before we get into the stocks and the crypto and the financial chat, I want to underscore once again what's going on in the Democratic Party, what's going on with the left in America today, and it's this just unbelievable, disgusting push into socialism. Now, you all remember me on Friday saying that you had Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders campaigning in the heartland trying to get folks in the heartland, down with socialism. And I've been suggesting that in America, there should be no way in hell that a socialist should be comfortable to come out publicly in America. I mean, this country was founded on capitalism. We had a revolution on capitalism, you socialist numbnuts. Remember, no taxation without representation. And now you've got these socialists pandering. And how are they pandering? I mean, I hate to hear these political talking heads on the mainstream media claiming that this pandering of free this, free that is actually a political platform. Come on! I mean, you actually got talking heads suggesting this. Now, the reason I bring this up, folks, is because you're seeing a schism that I called many months ago. Remember that? I said there was a schism in the Democratic Party between the extreme left, those that are so-called progressives, so-called socialists, or even outright communists, and those that are center-left. And let me tell you, those center-left Democrats, I know that you've been left out in the cold. I mean, you got these far left-wing nutcases that have somehow usurped the message of the Democratic Party, and now, if you're affiliated with the Democrats, you are automatically correlated as one of these left-wing nut jobs, for Christ's sake. One of these people that thinks that everything should be given to you and it should be paid for by some illusionary 1%. Oh, God, I hate hearing that shit, don't you? The 1% will pay for it. Give me free college. The 1% will pay for it. Give me free housing and free health care. The 1% will pay for it. Folks, and I don't know if you folks understand this, especially you socialist, millennial, idiotic, absent-minded, uneducated nut jobs out there. But did you know if we taxed the so-called 1% at 100%, let's just say we live in your socialist world, and we punish the 1% by taxing them 100% taxation. Did you know that even if we tax the 1% at 100%, that it wouldn't even fund one of our entitlements for a few months? And I'm talking about Social Security. I'm not talking about all the other expenses of government. I mean, this is how warped these socialists are thinking. And it's a dangerous mentality, and those of us, and whether you're on the right wing of the political spectrum or not, let's just say you're center-left, you have to think with your rational brain. Socialism is unsustainable. Not one of these assholes that are promoting socialism can name a model in history where socialism has been applied and has actually been successful. And every time that you try to use examples of socialist and communist failures, what's the regurgitation rhetorical garbage that they give you? Well, that wasn't real socialism. That wasn't real communism. Well, then what was it? We're going to have to, anoint you? Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and all these other left-wing wide-eyed nut jobs? We have to accord you the opportunity to set a precedent that socialism is finally going to work? It doesn't work! And that's why I keep telling each and every one of you, man, the difference between socialism and communism and capitalism is that socialism and communism, you as a person living in a socialist or communist society, you relinquish your freedom of choice, your freedom of decision, your freedom in general. That's why every decision you make, every life choice that you would traditionally make in a capitalist society, no. Under a communist and socialist society, the state tells you what to do. The state tells you what to work, where to work, how long to work, how much material you have, how much food you have, how many children you have. I mean, do you understand? That is the modus operandi of all socialists and communists. They want to centralize power. That's why they're always talking garbage about capitalism, because I keep telling each and every one of you that listens to this broadcast that capitalism is the essence of freedom. I mean, don't you understand, under capitalism, you make all your own choices. You make all your own decisions. You get to save your labor via money. I mean, you understand that, right? I mean, I hate to hear these rhetorical socialists, these rhetorical communists, when they suggest that, oh, capitalism is extortion. It exploits the worker. That's what capitalism does. Good God, I hate hearing that shit. Don't you understand, you socialist and communist numbnuts, that if you were told to do a job in socialism and communism and you refused to do it, you would be killed or thrown in a re-education camp? In capitalism, when you go for a job and an employer gives you a certain wage for your labor, you have the freedom, you have the choice, you have the decision to say yay or nay. And if you say nay, you're not going to be put in jail. You're not going to be thrown in a re-education camp. No! You have the freedom to sell your labor to somebody else who is offering wages. I mean, that is the essence of freedom. I can't believe that we've got so many millennial absent-minded morons that can't understand this. With capitalism, you get to carve out your life. You get to define what your future is. But it's not going to be given to you, you lazy-ass millennial pieces of garbage. Nobody gives you a living. I can't reiterate this any fucking more. No one's going to give you a living. You've got to earn a living, damn it. And that's what we're missing in modern day, at least youth in America today. We got a bunch of lazy-ass, game-playing, cartoon fetished, thumbs-bruised man-children out here that just are lazy to do anything. They don't want to do shit. They don't want to do nothing. Did you know that the average child in America only spends 7 hours a week outside? Did you know that? That's the new America that we're living in. The average child spends just 7 hours a week outside. And you see, folks, how much more lazy can you get than that? When I was a child, I couldn't wait to go outside. I didn't need a video game. I didn't need something to occupy my time. I had friends that I went outside with. And what do? We'd play baseball. We'd play tag. We'd play dodgeball. We'd play football with no goddamn protection. We'd tackle each other right in the grass. We did things that made us boys, that made us men. Look at us today. Look at what we're at today. Look at your average male today. Your average male is fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops. And folks, I called this 10 years ago. I've been doing this broadcast since 2008, and when I was saying that the future, and I said this in 2008, if you don't believe me, go back in the old archive. Go back in the old archive at blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Those old archives are still there. Go back to the 2008 archives, and what did I say? I said that we will see oral copulation between two men across the street from an elementary school, and it would be protected by the first goddamn amendment. I told you that we would see the absolute and utter pussification. The utter pussification of the American male being implemented, and by God, all you got to do is look outside your door to see the evidence of that. This is what the left has brought us. This is what liberal policies have gotten us. This is what feminism has gotten us. This is what all these leftist, lunatic variants of leftism has gotten us at this point in time. How anyone at this point can be a socialist, a communist, a progressive, or whatever these leftists are calling themselves out here now, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know, I remember when, this wasn't that long ago. I remember back in the 80s and 90s, Liberals used to be open. They wanted open information. They didn't want any restrictions on speech. They didn't want any safe spaces. Y'all remember that? Now it's a complete opposite, isn't it? Now they are totalitarian freaks, and that's the motive of all these goddamn leftists. And I think it was a saying by Charles Krottenheimer, the late Charles Krottenheimer, that said, us on the right, we view the left and we think they're kookster and crazy and lunatics. The left looks at us and they think we're evil. And that's why you're seeing all this desensitization of those of us on the right. And we can't just accept it. I mean, at some point in time, those of us on the right, we can't be the better person and just have this unprovoked violence inflicted on us just because we have a certain political persuasion. It goes against the very foundations of our Constitution. It goes against the very foundations of our country. And we can't just stay back. We can't just say, oh, okay, keep hitting us, leftist. Keep hitting us, liberals. We can't stay silent. At some point in time, we're going to have to give a little bit of retribution. Or maybe, just like old George W. Bush, old George Bush Jr. said, remember the Bush doctrine, the Bush Jr. doctrine? Preemptive strike. Preemptive strike. I mean, is it going to have to resort to that? Because I don't see the left calming down at all. As a matter of fact, I see these so-called talking heads and leaders trying to propagate violence, trying to propagate violent confrontations, trying to encourage outright chaos and disorder. And what are we on the right supposed to do? What are we on the right supposed to do? Stay silent and think that these people are going to calm down or some shit? These people are not going to calm down. It's been almost 2 years since the election, and these people are still pissing and moaning. Do you people understand that we're almost halfway through the Trump presidency, and we still have these liberal lunatics acting a fool? They're not even paying attention to the midterm elections. And the reason I say that, folks, is because once again, the schism that's happening in the Democratic Party is those that are on the far extremist, progressive, socialist, communist left, and those that are in the center left. And I'm telling you folks that on the center left, if you're going to continue to call yourselves Democrats, if you're going to continue to identify yourself as someone on the left, then don't be surprised if you become an unsuspecting victim of what the extreme left, the progressives, the socialists, the communists are trying to conjure up, are trying to inspire in this country. I'm warning all of you center-left people right now. You're either with us on the right or you're with these anti-American pieces of crap scum. And that's all the Democrats have ever been ever since the Iraq War. Remember that? Remember the Iraq War? Oh, our troops are baby killers. Oh, the Iraq War is horrible. Now, these same leftists who hated George W. Bush Jr. all of a sudden are championing George W. Bush Jr. because he happens to be criticizing Donald Trump. Do you remember the vehement hatred that these leftists had? Oh, when it came to George W. Bush and Dick Cheney? Do you remember that vehement hatred? It's gone. It's over. Because George W. Bush and Dick Cheney now criticize the president, now they're all of a sudden leftist darlings. And doesn't that prove that they were always leftists to begin with? Good God. Anyway, I'm just simply stating this, that those of us on the right, we got to continue to exploit this schism that's happening on the left. Because I'm telling you right now, the regular, average, everyday Mr. and Mrs. Joe six-pack in America want to have nothing to do with this socialist, communist, feminist, LGBTQ, XYZ, FYW9er. They don't want to have nothing to do with this crap. They're sick of it. They're sick and tired of the bitching and moaning. They're sick and tired of this goalpost that keeps fucking going farther and farther. They're tired of it all. They're tired of it all. I'm fucking tired of it. I can tell you that right goddamn now. I'm tired of it. Let me drink some tea. And yeah, by the way, folks, I'm still not drinking, believe it or not. I mean, I'm doing it cold turkey, and I know people are asking, hey, Ghost, you haven't had a seizure yet? You know, nothing like bad has happened to you, Ghost? I have people asking me that. No, it hasn't. I'm a bad man. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm getting a little bit of anxiety and all this bullshit, but you know what? I get pissed off when I get anxiety now. I start getting angry and pissed off, and you know what? It goes the fuck away. I scare anxiety away now. Anxiety is afraid of me. And I don't blame it. Give me my freaking tea. Anyway, folks, I'm just simply stating this. We have to make the environment so uncomfortable that leftists that are far extreme, like socialists, communists, progressives, they don't even want to come out as public. They'll feel stupid, humiliated, ridiculous. And that's what we need to propagate. We need to hit them right in their hypocritic craw. They're hypocritical. They're completely contradictory. And we need to exploit that and put that in the faces of Mr. and Mrs. Joe Sixpack. And once we do that, it's over. Nobody wants socialism and communism in this country. Yeah, maybe some stupid, dumb millennials are bitching and moaning about it because, oh, I got $60,000 in college debt. That's your fucking problem. You got goofed. All right, why is that my problem that you got goofed into a $60,000 college debt that you're going to have to pay for the next 25 years? Why is it my problem? Secondly, how come you millennials, and I fucking hate to keep fucking regurgitating this fact, but why aren't you millennials more pissed off at Obama? Because it was Barack Obama that nationalized the student loan program, and that's why you have to pay on this son of a bitch for the next 25 years of your life. Because before Obama, you could just merely put your college debt into your bankruptcy and never have to pay for the son of a bitch again. I guarantee you that's what your professors did. And I've been telling you, if you're in college, why don't you go ask your professor? Ask your professor if he got a full scholarship for his PhD. He didn't. He did not. If he did, he wouldn't be there teaching you. I can tell you that right goddamn now. And ask him, are you still in student debt, or did you throw it in bankruptcy before Obama completely eliminated that option for us millennials? Why don't you ask your professor that? I challenge you. What, school's coming up, right? You got college coming up again. Why don't you go ask them? Ask them. Anyway, I'm tired of talking about these leftists. We're going to talk about more leftist ridiculousness, grotesque, debauchery, pedophilia, the whole 9 yards later on in this broadcast. And we'll talk about that later. But now, let's go ahead and transition into some crypto talk. Now, folks, we did have a little bit of a run this past weekend in cryptocurrency markets. And what did I say? What did I say was going to happen? We ended the week in the U.S. dollar in the negative. Remember, we were down, was it 0.73%, 0.5 something? We were down. We were down either 0.5% or over 0.5% on Friday when it comes to the U.S. dollar, fiat currency. And I said in the last broadcast that we were going to see that decrease in the U.S. dollar factored into the cryptocurrency markets this past weekend. And that's exactly what the hell happened, all right? And not to mention, folks, I mean, this is why everybody listens to the broadcast, especially during the crypto hour, because they know that Ghost, freaking making money, baby. That's what I do. That's what I do. Not only did I call this run that we're now contracting from because, the dollar is up today. The dollar is increased, but, this weekend we did see a little bit of a run, and I hope that you all profited on that. Right now, the dollar spot index is up 0.17%. So that's why we're seeing contractions today, even though we saw that bull run in the crypto markets this weekend. Let's take a look at the entire market capitalization of cryptocurrency. The entire market capitalization of the cryptocurrency market currently is $283 billion market capitalization. Now, I mean, you know what, folks? I mean, if you listen to this broadcast, you'll know when this damn market's going to go up, and you know it's going to go down. All you have to do is monitor that U.S. dollar. It's as simple as that, man. And not to mention, if the dollar is going up, if the U.S. dollar is going up, then you're going to want to make some moves based on news or based on, potential ear to the ground in the cryptocurrency market type of maneuvers, whatever. But as long as that U.S. dollar is going up, we're going to see a flat or a decreasing cryptocurrency market. So let's go ahead and go to Bitcoin. Now, even though the cryptocurrency markets are currently contracting, what did I tell you all about Bitcoin? What did I tell you all? I said that we had one more run for Bitcoin, and it was starting to happen. And as the days have gone by, we've seen Bitcoin going up and up and up. And why did I say Bitcoin was going to go up? Well, first of all, I have seen countless so-called experts on the mainstream media business outlets who have suggested that at the end of the year, Bitcoin's going to be 20,000, Bitcoin's going to be 30,000, 80,000. I mean, you got all these figures being put out by these so-called experts, and just based on that, just on the fact that this mainstream business media is pushing Bitcoin at these potential prospecting type of prices, they're obviously trying to induce people into this market. I mean, why else would they put obnoxious shit like this? Based on what? That you're going to say that, Bitcoin's going to go 20,000 at the end of the year. Based on what? Bitcoin is going to go to 80,000 at the end of the year. Based on what? I mean, I hate to keep downgrading Bitcoin, but let's be honest, folks. Those of us that have been in this game for a little bit, we already know that Bitcoin is old technology. I mean, yeah, it was the first kid on the blockchain, but it's old. All right? Not to mention, I'm not too terribly fond of the transaction time, nor am I too terribly fond of the transaction fee that fluctuates on a consistent basis. And lest we forget that this is not even an attempt at a viable alternative to fiat, based on the fact that you need to wait so long for this transaction to confirm before that you can actually exchange goods and services when it relates to Bitcoin. So there's a lot of negatives. And I know that there are other coins out there that have better technology. And what have I said, folks? Long-term investment when it comes to cryptocurrency should be based on technology. Because technology is what brings the value to cryptocurrency. Remember that. Now, I did say we were going to see a short run here. We were going to see a run up on Bitcoin. Why? I'll explain why. Like I've said for the past several shows, speculation. Over-speculation is going to drive people into Bitcoin. It's already started. It's already happened. Folks, last week, Bitcoin was at $6,400. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin today and see how much it's raised since this increase in the cryptocurrency markets this weekend. Bitcoin, symbol BTC, the current market capitalization is $132 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 17.1 million in circulation. Now, in the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone up 3.76% in the 24-hour period. Current price for Bitcoin, symbol BTC, current price, check this out, $7,709.80 per Bitcoin. All right? Once again, I mean, what did I tell you? I said it, and I've been calling it. If you've been listening to this broadcast, you know that I've been calling it, folks. All right? I mean, making money, it's what I do. That's why people listen to this broadcast when it comes to crypto plays. And like I said, folks, I believe that we're going to see Bitcoin go up to 15,000 and possibly contract from that 15,000 point. Now, if by some chance, we have over-speculators that are just continuously buying Bitcoin and it reaches the $20,000 mark, I think that we could see the sky's the limit at this point in time. All right? I mean, seriously, I mean, remember, the highest that Bitcoin has gone is $20,000. So once we clear out all those people that are holding the bag on Bitcoin, then the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's really going to be an interesting point in the rising of price of Bitcoin. If it does reach 20, I mean, I think that we could see 30, 40,000 Bitcoin. I'm not even kidding around. But that's based on over-speculation, and I'm going to be honest, it's been induced by this mainstream business media. All right? So I'm just saying. All right, Bitcoin looks good, and I think it's a good play here, at least until the end of the year. So if you're looking for something to hold some crypto or hold some liquidity in until the end of the year, I like Bitcoin, man. And like I said, it's based on over-speculation. Anyway, let's get to Ethereum, folks. ETH is the symbol. Now, we all know that this is the second on the top of mind when it comes to people. And when you ask them a question, do you know cryptocurrency? Ethereum is usually second on the mind. ETH, we all know about the smart contract technology. What makes Ethereum a little attractive is obviously not just the smart contract technology, but it's fairly fast in its transaction speed, and it's very low in its transaction fee. Very low in its transaction fee. So a lot of things attractive still to Ethereum, but as I've stated, I think the smart contract technology has still got a ways to go. I don't think that the technology is perfected, and I think that QTUM has them beat when it comes to that. All right, but regardless, let's go ahead and cover Ethereum. ETH, current market capitalization is $45 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 100 million in circulation. Remember, 100 million in circulation, and it doesn't look like there's any end circulation. It doesn't look like there's a total supply. It seems like this is like a Dogecoin, and look, don't get me started on Dogecoin. I fucking hate Dogecoin, but I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, there is no end total circulation. It seems like it's just going to go on and on and on. We're almost at 101 million in circulation for ETH, for heaven's sake. Anyway, in the past 24 hours, we have seen Ethereum go down 1.95%. Current price for Ethereum is $450.87 per Ethereum. Let's get to Bitcoin Cash, folks. Now, we've seen some runs on Bitcoin Cash. I still think we've got some room to grow on here. Like I said, I see Bitcoin Cash at the end of the year somewhere in the price of $1,500 to $2,000. It could be a little bit more than that because we do have a lot of over-speculators in the market, but I think that we're going to see at the end of the year 2,500 at most. If it goes over 3.5, then the lure and the value of Bitcoin Cash kind of goes away. And I've said many times that the lure of Bitcoin Cash is that it could be a viable alternative to fiat currency, but we shall see. I'm not saying that it's certain that this could be a viable alternative, but if it's over-speculated, I mean, that's what made Bitcoin, not necessarily attractive to retailers when it comes to accepting Bitcoin or crypto. Because Bitcoin's fluctuations, remember, about 4 or 5 months ago, we were at $20,000. Now we're at 7,000. I mean, that's a massive drop. That's major percentages. That's horrible fluctuation if you're a business trying to accept currency, cryptocurrency, as a means of exchanging goods and services, and you have those types of fluctuations. So anyway, I'm looking at Bitcoin Cash as a possible alternative. So let's take a look at it. Market capitalization for Bitcoin Cash is $13 billion market cap. The current circulating supply is 17.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash has gone down 0.88%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash, symbol BCH. Current price, $783.84 per Bitcoin Cash. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pat myself on the back for the run that I called on Friday for Bitcoin Diamond. Y'all remember me saying that this was going to be a short-term run, and I called it. I said it's probably going to happen this weekend. Bitcoin Diamond. BCD is the symbol. Didn't I tell you that this run was coming? And didn't I say that it was going to be a short run? So once you start seeing the son of a bitch go over 50%, get the hell out. Get out. Man, folks, I got in at about 2 and change. I rode this son of a bitch until it got to $5 and got the hell out. I mean, making money, baby. That's what I do. I hope that some of you entertained this play because it was easy and fast liquid. Now, I want to be honest with you. How did I determine this play? Well, I always got my ear, or I should say my digital ear, to the cryptocurrency grapevine out here, the forum posts, Discord chats, etc. And I have caught wind that there is a group of individuals that are running this on purpose. They're running it up and they're bringing it down. They're running it up and bringing it down. And if you know this, well then why not just get a piece of it, right? Why not just get a piece of it for some liquidity? Now, let me go ahead and get to Bitcoin Diamond. Now, Bitcoin Diamond, BCD. Now, when I announced this past Friday that it was a buy and that it was a very, very, very short-term play, we saw Bitcoin Diamond at about, $2.13, $2.15, something like $2 and change. Very low $2 and change. I mean, folks, did you see how high it went this weekend? I mean, what did I tell you? The prognosticator of prognosticators strikes again, baby. I mean, it went up to almost $5, man. It depends on where you were trading as well. Remember, you could potentially make some cash if, one particular exchange is trading the currency at one rate and you can transfer it. I mean, there's a bunch of things you can do. I don't want to get into what, we in the inner circle do. I mean, you should have gotten in the inner circle if you want to know what we do. But anyway, you could get it for cheaper is what I'm saying. And potentially, if you have to sell it off, you could potentially sell it for more. You just have to know what exchange is giving the most, you know what I'm saying? Most money for the BCD. So is what I'm talking about. Let's take a look at these charts here. Look at that weekend bump. I called it on Friday, baby. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's going to be another bump just like this. Take a look at those spikes within the past 45 days. Take a look at those huge spikes. It's obvious that there's a group running this thing. And in my view, I think that right now, at the prices that Bitcoin Diamond is right now, it's a good buy just to hold it. And you got to monitor this thing because, like I said, as quick as it goes up is as quick as it goes down. Take a look at those charts. As it's going up, I mean, wouldn't you want to hold some of this? And when it's about $4.50, $5, you just want to get the hell out. That's how you make quick liquidity, baby. I'm telling you, there's a group running this, and I've got my ear to the ground. That's why I knew this play, all right? That's all I'm saying. You're welcome if you made lots of money on this son of a bitch. I know I did. Woo! Give me some tea, man. I wish it was beer. Give me some tea. Good stuff. Anyway, let's get to Bitcoin Diamond right now. The current prices, current market caps, all right? Market capitalization is $339 million. In market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 153 million in circulation for Bitcoin Diamond. Now, folks, in the past 24 hours, it just fucking flatlined. That's what I'm saying. As soon as you see it going up, get out. That's why you got to monitor, especially a play like Bitcoin Diamond, like I was saying on Friday. In the past 24 hours, folks, Bitcoin Diamond has gone down 51.53% on the day. I mean, good God! I'm telling you. And look, I'm going to be honest. I think that we're going to see another run on this thing. I think we're going to see another run on this thing. And if we continue to contract, what I have noticed as far as the tendency of Bitcoin Diamond, whenever there's a massive contraction that's hitting, especially the main coins, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything to that capacity, this thing likes to run up $4, $5 and then come down. So in my view, I think right now the current price, $2.20, is a great buy for the next run. I'm not even kidding around. It's a great buy for the next run here, and I think that we're going to see it sooner than later. I think that we should see another run, if not by Friday. Depending on how the markets go, we should go into it the next weekend. But in my opinion, based upon how the markets are contracting and the U.S. dollar is raising, I think that the indicator right now, since we see Bitcoin still in the positive, I think if we see regular Bitcoin go down in the negative, we should see Bitcoin Diamond make another run, okay? So I'm just trying to tell you, I am not long-term. I said this on the last broadcast. This is not a long-term investment. This is purely just for quick liquidity. And just like if you took advantage, folks, I mean, you know, if you took advantage on Friday and sold off on Saturday or Sunday, you made some major liquidity. And what are you supposed to do with that liquidity? What does Ghost say to do with the liquidity? Use that liquidity and put it back into long-term investment. Because why? Long-term investment reigns supreme, baby. It reigns supreme. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to another crypto, Monero. You know, the so-called privacy coin. XMR is the symbol. Now, the only reason I cover Monero is because it's another one that likes to run. It is a short-term pattern trading play on Monero. So that's why I cover it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Current market cap is $2.1 billion market cap. The current circulating supply is 16.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Monero has gone up 2.92% on the upside. Current price for Monero, XMR is the symbol, $132.94 per Monero. Let's get to Dash, folks. D-A-S-H. I like Dash, folks. Remember, we've seen Dash go up to about $1,500. So we've got about people holding the bag up to $1,500, okay? I think that this is dirt cheap considering, you know, we have a big amount of room between the current price and $1,500. And not only is this a decent coin because it's a fast transaction speed coin and a low transaction fee coin, but look at the circulation. The circulation is low. Let's take a look at it one more again. Dash, D-A-S-H. Current market capitalization is $1.9 billion in market capitalization. The circulating supply right now is 8.2 million. That's it. 8.2 million Dash in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Dash has gone down 3.13%. Current price for Dash, $242.02 per Dash. All right, let's continue going. Let's get to I like Zcash, all right? And look, we've been seeing some running on Zcash. I think we're going to see some more running on Zcash. We've got people holding the bag on Zcash up to about $850. In my opinion, I think this should be a $1,000 coin here. And, you know, we should potentially see $1,000 at least by the end of the year, I would speculate. I mean, at least we'd be able to see close to the 800, which is the all-time highs. If we can get past that 800 threshold, once again, sky's the limit. So we shall see. I love Zcash because it's a privacy coin. You know, it's got a lot of investment going into it. A lot of big things are happening on it presently. They just had a hard fork, so you got new blockchain technology in the coin today. So a lot of things going on for Zcash. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. ZEC. ZEC is the symbol. Current market capitalization is $854 million in market capitalization. The circulating supply is 4.4 million. That's it. That's a low circulating supply, baby. 4.4 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has gone down very little, 0.03% decrease. Current price for Zcash, symbol ZEC, $193.36 per Zcash. Let's go ahead and get to Quantum, folks. QTUM. This is my biggest holding. This is my long-term investment, and I'm loving these fucking prices, man. I mean, you know, and not to mention the Inner Circle and the True Capitalist Radio chat room are loving it. I mean, I don't know how many people we've got in the 500 club, you know, and look, I mean, if you got 500 or more Quantum and it's sitting in your wallet, I mean, you should be getting a stake payment within like 92, 95 days. I mean, the more you have over 500, the faster you're going to get stake payments, baby. All right? Like I said, this is a proof of stake coin, QTUM. You make money by holding the Quantum in your wallet. And on top of which, you've got all kinds of QRC20 tokens that are being burnt, that are being airdropped right into the goddamn wallet itself. And not to mention, folks, I personally believe, and look, I'm telling you to do your own research on this damn coin. It is the future of cryptocurrency, man. They're more worried about making sure not only the innovation of technology is the best, but if it fucking works. And they don't want to start this big promotional campaign in the West, because right now this is an Asian coin. They have been, you know, prohibited from making this big, huge marketing campaign for this coin because they want to know if it works. Not just the smart contract technology. I mean, they're talking about if it's going to work with the Lightning Network. They're talking about expanding how many nodes they have of Quantum. I mean, folks, they're talking about 50,000 nodes on the QTUM network. I think that, Bitcoin has like less than 20. I think that Ethereum has like 15,000 nodes. 50,000 nodes. I'm telling you, this is the future. And I hope that all of y'all that are listening consider this as a long-term investment, because I am not touching any Quantum. All right? I'm just getting it and hoarding it. I mean, that's exactly what I did with my liquidity on the Bitcoin diamond play that I made this weekend, putting it right there into Quantum, baby. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's take a look at Quantum right now. QTUM is the symbol. Current market capitalization is $692 million in market capitalization. The current circulating supply is $88 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen it gone down a little bit. All right, 0.38% decrease. Current price for Quantum, symbol QTUM, is at $7.85, baby. I'm buying. I mean, I'm literally holding it right now on my wallet, and I'm just saying, man. It's my long-term investment. I love it. Not to mention, let's get to 0x, folks. 0x. Many of us in the Inner Circle got into this when it was 40 cents a coin, 30 cents a coin. Let's take a look at it now. 0x, symbol ZRX. Current market capitalization is $609 million in market capitalization. The circulating supply is $536 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen 0x go down 0.15%. Current price for 0x, $1.14 per 0x. And like I said, folks, I like 0x for the long term, because if you compare it to EOS, I think it's got more money potential than EOS, and I think it has the same trajectory chart-wise as EOS, so just compare the two. And remember, EOS has over 800 million in circulation. 0x has 536 million in circulation. And lest we forget that 0x just got listed on Coinbase. So I told you that was going to get listed. Didn't I tell y'all that? I said that 0x, its blockchain technology was used on the Paradex exchange. Paradex was then bought out by Coinbase. And I told you leading up to Coinbase being announced on Coinbase, or excuse me, 0x being announced on Coinbase, that it was going to be there. So that's why I'm telling. That's why everybody listens to this broadcast for cryptocurrency advice, baby. I don't blame them. That's why they're listening. I mean, this is the prognosticator, a prognosticator over here, for Christ's sake. Anyway, let me get to the last coin here, then we get to stocks. Basic Attention Coin, folks, BAT. We have seen some runs on some BAT. I still think that we're going to continue to see runs on it. Like I said, I love the browser that it put out, the Brave browser. I love the fact that it's trying to make itself as an alternative to be able to compensate certain content creators. Because I'm telling you, that's going to be the most important thing of the future, folks. If you like certain content, if you like people creating certain content, I mean, it's going to be up to the user to make sure not only to sustain that content creator, but sustain them to the point where it'll continue to create more content. I mean, it's as simple as that. Because I guarantee you, this advertising model, it's going by the wayside at this point in time. If you want my personal opinion, I think that advertising is going backwards. Because, I mean, let's just take, for instance, I'm going to advertise on the internet. Where do you start advertising on the internet? What, Facebook? Twitter? What, I know you can use, like, you know, your own YouTubes and you can use your own social media and all that. But let's be honest, you're competing with the world. So you're going to have to put some kind of marketing dollars so that you can be recognized on the internet. And I don't know if you've noticed, folks, but internet marketing costs a lot of fucking money. All right? It costs a lot of money, and moreover, you don't know what kind of niche demographic that you're going to be hitting. So in my opinion, I don't think that, the advertising model to sustain content is going to be around for much longer. And if it is, then the commercial is going to be the content. I honestly believe that. You're already seeing it in Instagram. Instagram is now paying its creators that have like lots of followings to integrate like some kind of product into their Instagram pictures. I mean, now all of a sudden the content has become the advertising. And when the content becomes the advertising, I don't think that's a good precedent for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at fucking CNN. That's what that is. Where the fucking content is the advertising. I'm serious. I mean, we can't do that. We need user-generated content, user-funded content. And that's why I try to encourage all of you folks. I mean, not only purchase any of the merch that yours truly may be putting out, and I don't try to put out too much merch, folks, but, you know, if you can't do that, the cryptocurrency wishing well, man. Believe it or not, you guys that are, putting in $5, $10 in cryptocurrency, it's actually making a whole bit of good, because what does it do? It encourages me to come back and continue to do a goddamn broadcast, 3 hours, and give you the straight political dope, and not to mention these fucking calls that I'm making. I mean, I'm giving away millions upon millions of dollars of information on the Economic Hour, and I hope that some of you guys have been taking advantage of it ever since I started this son of a bitch back in 2010. I hope, man. I sincerely hope so. But anyway, that's why I like Basic Attention Coin, because it's feeding in right into that future of how content creators are going to be paid or compensated by content users. So let's go ahead and take a look at Basic Attention Coin, BAT. Current market capitalization is $339 million in market capitalization. The current circulating supply for BAT, Basic Attention Coin, $1 billion in circulation. Now, I know that many of you are probably saying, well, Ghost, that's $1 billion in circulation, dude. That's a lot. Yeah, may I remind you that Ripple, XRP, Ripple actually has $48 billion in circulation, and it went as high as $3 and change. So, just letting you know that. All right. Now, in the past 24 hours, Basic Attention Coin has gone up. It's one of the few coins in the green right now. It is up 2.51%. Current price for Basic Attention Coin, BAT, current price, 33 cents, almost 40 cents per coin, folks. Now, let's go ahead and end the cryptocurrency talk. I hope that you folks got a wind of, some plays. I hope that, some of the commentary that I'm giving you gives you a little bit of strategy in your cryptocurrency endeavors. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stock market. Now, we're seeing the stock market rather flat because the dollar continues to go up. We should see that also reflected in the commodities. So let's see what we have here in the stock market thus far. Let's get to the Dow Jones Industrial. It is down today 13.83 points, a percentage decrease of 0.06%, closing out the Dow at 25,044.29 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We've got the S&P 500. It is up. 5.15 points, a percentage increase of 0.18%, closing out the S&P at 2,806.98 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is up, folks, 21.67 points, a percentage increase of 0.28%, closing out the NASDAQ at 7,841.87 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now let's go ahead and get to commodities, folks. Let's take a look at some of these energy prices. Now, I want to give you a little bit of news. I just read that Iran just surpassed Saudi Arabia in output production of oil. So it looks like Iran is a serious player in the OPEC countries. It's even surpassed Iran in oil production. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, there is some kind of confrontation or there is some kind of a war that breaks out, whether it's between Israel and Iran, the United States and Iran, or whatever. Obviously, that's going to shoot up oil pretty damn high. I read an article today of some expert claiming that if there is a legitimate war and it bogs down the Middle East, it could potentially raise barrels of oil up to about $400 a barrel. Now, do I believe that we're going to see $400 a barrel of oil? Not likely. I think that we could easily see 120, 150 at the most, I think, $1 a barrel, $150 barrel. And if we see that, folks, we're in some serious trouble, because whatever the Make America Great Again economic policies are that's making the country more productive, wages rise, jobs, that's going to be offset by these high increases in energy costs. Because remember, that energy cost, that trickles down to everybody. Remember, just because goods are manufactured, those goods got to get somewhere. They got to get from the person or the entity that manufactured them to the store so you can buy them. And that takes gas, that takes oil, and that's why it can cost everybody. So keep your eye on oil, folks. Keep your eye. Even though it's down, I still like this ETF play on oil in the long term. I'm going to be completely honest. And for you folks that don't know what ETFs are, that's Exchange Traded Fund. It's much like a fund that either goes with the price of whatever you're investing in or goes against the price that you're investing in. For instance, if you want an ETF that goes in conjunction with the increase of price of oil, then I think that this is that type of ETF to be playing right now. I think that if you get an ETF that goes up with the price of oil, given all the destabilization in the international community, given the fact that you've got a lot of war-like footing going on in the Middle East, I think it's a very probable idea that, just having a few ETFs in your portfolio that, coincide with the rise in oil is not out of the question. Let's go ahead and take a look at WTI sweet crude. It is up it's down. It's down 5 cents. A percentage decrease of 0.07%, closing out WTI sweet crude at $67.84 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude down, folks, 11 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.15%, closing out Brent crude at $72.95 per barrel of Brent crude oil. We've got gasoline up today, 0.20%. Natural gas is unchanged today And heating oil is up 0.17%. Let's go ahead and get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals! We've got gold, folks. It is down $1.70, a percentage decrease of 0.14%, closing out gold at $1,223.90 per troy ounce of gold. Let's get to silver. It's down 3 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.19%, closing out silver at $15.40 per troy ounce of silver. We've got copper down 0.04%. We've got platinum down 0.06%. Let's go ahead and get to agriculture, shall we? Grains. We've got corn down 1.08%. We've got wheat down 0.63%. Oats is up 0.42%. Rough rice is up 0.50%. Soybean is down 0.46%. Soybean oil is down 0.11%. And canola is down 0.31%. Let's get to the soft, shall we? Cocoa, the base for chocolate, it is down 0.99%. Coffee is up 0.90%. Sugar is down 0.36%. We've got orange juice down 1.81% decrease for orange juice. We've got cotton down 0.31%. Lumber is down 1.75%. We've got rubber down 0.24%, and ethanol is up 0.14%. Let's get to livestock, shall we? We got live cattle up 0.32% increase. We've got cattle feeder down 0.28% decrease. And good God, look at lean hog, boy. Look at lean hogs. Hambo. Look at lean hogs. It is up 2.63% on the day. Good God. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? All right. Now that we got all that out of the way, folks, we are now 3 minutes in to the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you for tuning in with me, all right? Now, if you could all do me a favor, all right, because this is a user kind of generated kind of broadcast. We don't do any advertising. There's none of that stuff. I am asking you, please, spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And it is, and I love being independent now, baby. Type this in your browser, add it to your bookmarks, add it to your favorites. It is ghost.report. That's all you got to type in your browser. It's that simple. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I want to say what's going on to everybody who's in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on, baby? And by the way, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, and you don't know what you're missing, man, if you ain't in here, man, I'm not even joking. Come on down in here. Be a part of this. All right? I mean, we do all kinds of investigating. I don't even want to get into it, man. I don't even want to get into it, but come on down. You want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. All you got to do is go to my Gab right now. Go to my Gab, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button. All right? It's as simple as that. That's all you do. Go to my Gab, hit the subscribe button, and once you do that, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name so I can give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. Now that we've got that all out of the way, we got a lot of things to talk about here. So let me drink a little bit of tea and let's get right in this son of a bitch, all right? Oh, yes, I'm drinking tea. Oh, yes. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the president. Now, one thing that I love today that the president did... Did you see him threaten Iran, for Christ's sake, man? I'm telling you, I love this president, man. I mean, I am so glad that this is my fucking president. I mean, that's why I stopped drinking. I mean, why drink? You've got the greatest president of all time out here kicking ass, taking names. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody would have it any other way. I mean, I'm loving this. I'm sorry. I mean, he makes me speechless, for Christ's sake. Did you all see what he said to Iran, for Christ's sake? And for you all that don't know, Iran tried to threaten us this weekend. Yeah, that's right. The president of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, threatened us this weekend, saying that we better watch out or Iran will implement the mother of all wars on the United States. And you know what the president said this morning, man? Oh, my God. In all caps, baby. One of the first tweets he's ever done in all caps. He said the following. This is the tweet. It happened... Actually, it happened yesterday morning. My bad. It happened yesterday, July 22nd, 2018 at 10:24 p.m. Okay? He said to the Iranian President Rouhani, never, ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. We are no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. Be cautious. Oh, man, I'm telling you, you know Obama wouldn't have said nothing like that, boy. I mean, hell, Obama gave Iran $250 billion. All right, $1.5 billion of it in cash given to them in some, like, shady plane that, I mean, just, I'm telling you, I love this president. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. And look, I'm telling you, Iran better watch its ass. I know Iran likes to flex nuts and thinking that it's all badass. I'm telling you, Iran is nothing domestically. Iran, I'm telling you, the people don't want to be ruled by the Ayatollah anymore. And because the Ayatollah and its government has been using and abusing these people in these useless wars, like the Iran-Iraq war, I mean, they have literally depleted generations of people. I mean, right now in Iran, the average median age of the Iranian is 27 years old. I mean, the Iranians have literally used up the generations that are 27 years of age or older on ridiculous, dumb garbage. Jihadist bullshit. I mean, lest we forget that Iran also utilized the infamous suicide bombing back in the 80s, back in the 70s. Remember that? Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking forward to something happening to Iran. And if I'm Trump, I would try at this point in time, in a clandestine capacity, to try to destabilize Iran. And I think it's ripe for destabilization. The domestic population wants to have nothing to do with Iran, and this is a long time coming. If you folks that have been fans of yours truly for a while, you know that yours truly aided the 2009 Iranian Revolution. And I aided that, from a capacity of organization, of message, on strategy, etc. And, I mean, I don't want to tell you the whole story, but I met a whole bunch of Iranians on the voice chat community Pal Talk. And for you folks that have been with me since 2010, you know what voice chat community that is. But I was in that community long before that. I've been on that community since like 2007 or some 2006, 2005, something like that. And at the time, there were a plethora, I'm talking thousands of Iranians that hung out on Pal Talk, and they understood English. They loved the West. They wanted to be like the West. And in talking to these people and talking politics and discussing issues, that's when I caught wind that these people, at least the Iranians I was talking to in this given room, were organizing an all-out revolution in Tehran. Now, not a revolution in the traditional sense that you think, because the majority of the population is disarmed. But these organizers of the Iranian 2009 revolution thought, and it was an unfortunate miscalculation, but they thought that if they went out there in Tehran and started protesting, and the Iranian authorities started shooting them and killing them, they actually believed that the international community would come in and intervene and stop the slaughter. But unfortunately, much like the Tiananmen Square protest of 1989, which was another miscalculation, because they thought the same thing. The Chinese protest of Tiananmen Square in 1989, they thought, because they were disarmed, that if the Chinese government implemented violence on them, that the international community would come in and intervene. But that did not happen. Estimated over 250,000 Chinese were literally shot, mowed over to death, etc. Tiananmen Square, 1989. Never forget, baby. Never forget Tiananmen Square. But regardless, these Iranians, getting back to the Iranian Revolution of 2009, these Iranians anticipated that if the Iranian authorities opened fire on them or killed them, that the international community would intervene. And I was on the internet at that time. I was the only person in any fucking media screaming, saying somebody helped the Iranian Revolution in 2009. And I'm not even talking about intervention. I was talking about aiding this them and killing them. They actually believed that the international community would come in and intervene and stop the slaughter. But unfortunately, much like the Tiananmen Square protest of 1989, which was another miscalculation, because they thought the same thing. The Chinese protest of Tiananmen Square in 1989, they thought, because they were disarmed, that if the Chinese government implemented violence on them, that the international community would come in and intervene. But that did not happen. Estimated over 250,000 Chinese were literally shot, mowed over to death, etc. Tiananmen Square, 1989. Never forget, baby. Never forget Tiananmen Square. But regardless, these Iranians, getting back to the Iranian Revolution of 2009, these Iranians anticipated that if the Iranian authorities opened fire on them or killed them, that the international community would intervene. And I was on the internet at that time. I was the only person in any fucking media screaming, saying somebody helped the Iranian Revolution in 2009. And I'm not even talking about intervention. I was talking about aiding them and killing them. They actually believed that the international community would come in and intervene and stop the slaughter. But unfortunately, much like the Tiananmen Square protest of 1989, which was another miscalculation, because they thought the same thing. The Chinese protest of Tiananmen Square in 1989, they thought, because they were disarmed, that if the Chinese government implemented violence on them, that the international community would come in and intervene. But that did not happen. Estimated over 250,000 Chinese were literally shot, mowed over to death, etc. Tiananmen Square, 1989. Never forget, baby. Never forget Tiananmen Square. But regardless, these Iranians, getting back to the Iranian Revolution of 2009, these Iranians anticipated that if the Iranian authorities opened fire on them or killed them, that the international community would intervene. And I was on the internet at that time. I was the only person in any fucking media screaming, saying somebody helped the Iranian Revolution in 2009. And I'm not even talking about intervention. I was talking about aiding them and killing them. They actually believed that the international community would come in and intervene and stop the slaughter. But unfortunately, much like the Tiananmen Square protest of 1989, which was another miscalculation because they thought the same thing. The Chinese protest of Tiananmen Square in 1989, they thought because they were disarmed that if the Chinese government implemented violence on them, that the international community would come in and intervene. But that did not happen. Estimated over 250,000 Chinese were literally shot, mowed over to death, etc. Tiananmen Square, 1989. Never forget, baby. Never forget Tiananmen Square. But regardless, these Iranians, getting back to the Iranian Revolution of 2009, these Iranians anticipated that if the Iranian authorities opened fire on them or killed them, that the international community would intervene. And I was on the internet at that time. I was the only person in any fucking media screaming, saying somebody helped the Iranian Revolution in 2009. And I'm not even talking about intervention. I was talking about aiding them and killing them. They actually believed that the international community would come in and intervene and stop the slaughter. But unfortunately, much like the Tiananmen Square protest of 1989, which was another miscalculation because they thought the same thing. The Chinese protest of Tiananmen Square in 1989, they thought because they were disarmed that if the Chinese government implemented violence on them, that the international community would come in and intervene. But that did not happen. Estimated over 250,000 Chinese were literally shot, mowed over to death, etc. Tiananmen Square, 1989. Never forget, baby. Never forget Tiananmen Square. But regardless, these Iranians, getting back to the Iranian Revolution of 2009, these Iranians anticipated that if the Iranian authorities opened fire on them or killed them, that the international community would intervene. And I was on the internet at that time. I was the only person in any fucking media screaming, saying somebody helped the Iranian Revolution in 2009. And I'm not even talking about intervention. I was talking about aiding All right, am I back on the fucking air or what, for fuck's sake, man? I had a fucking rolling blackout, for fuck's sake! Why the fuck does this fucking shit... God damn it! Piece of shit! Fuck! I can't fucking work like this with fucking blackouts in the middle of the fucking show! What the fuck? Yeah, folks, we just got a blackout in the middle of the fucking show, for Christ's sake. Can anybody fucking hear me? Fuck! I mean, good fucking God. I'm in the middle of a fucking broadcast, for fuck's sake. I'm talking about serious fucking business, and what do I get? I get a fucking rolling blackout. I get a fucking blackout. Fucking piece of shit! Fucker! Fuck! I hate being disrupted in my own fucking broadcast! I hate being fucking disrupted in my own fucking broadcast! Fuck! I mean, give me a goddamn break, man. I guess I'm back on the fucking air, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, what a buzzkill, man. What a fucking buzzkill. Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, look, we had a fucking rolling blackout here. I don't know what the fuck it was about. Obviously, we're having some, like, heat wave out here in Texas, and you got a lot of people fucking using the electricity or whatever the crap. And it just fucks with me, man. I'm sitting over here, I was having a great fucking show! I was having a great fucking show until this fucking blackout happened, man. Fuck! Now I don't even want to do this I'm serious. Now I don't even want to do the fucking broadcast anymore, man. I mean, do you understand how bad this fucking pisses me off, man? All I'm trying to do is do a simple fucking dumbass fucking operation out here for a fucking podcast, and every fucking goddamn time something fucks up. Every fucking time. I mean, do you understand how fucking stressful that is, for Christ's sake, man? Fuck! I mean, I don't even want to fucking do the broadcast anymore, man! I mean, this is fucking, it ruins it! It ruins everything! I literally just had a fucking blackout, man. It just fucking, the electricity just fucking went the fuck out! Why does this shit happen when I'm broadcasted, man? Ugh, fuck! I'm fucking sick, man! I don't even want to, I'm serious, I don't even want to do the fucking I don't want to do this fucking broadcast, man. I mean, this fucking, it just throws me off my fucking rhythm, man. We're having a great show! I'm serious, man. I'm fucking pissed. It's just frustrating, folks. You know, how long I fucking plan for this show, man? It takes me 3 fucking hours to plan for this 3 fucking hour show. Sometimes 4 hours, depending on how much fucking news there is, you know? And then I got a limited amount of time. I got 3 fucking hours to say all this shit. And then, of course, I've got something to fuck it all up. And I had I think I had 2,000, 3,000 listeners right now. Now, that listener base went down to 100. Why? Because of a fucking blackout! Because of a fucking blackout! Fuck! I mean, I'm serious. I don't even want to do the fucking broadcast. I'm not even kidding around. I'm so fucking pissed that I had a fucking blackout. It pissed me fucking off, man. Man, what a fucking time to stop fucking drinking. You know, man? What a fucking time to stop fucking drinking! Anyway, before I fucking got rudely interrupted by a fucking blackout, I was talking about how the president was threatening Iran and telling them to shut the hell up and stop fucking writing checks its damn Hajib ass can't cash. And, I don't know, man. I'm so jaded after this, man. I don't even want to broadcast. I'm serious. I don't even want to fucking broadcast, man. I'm fucking tired of this shit, man. I mean, you don't understand, man. It's fucking frustrating. It's fucking frustrating trying to run your own fucking shit. It's fucking frustrating, man. I'm not fucking joking around. And not to mention, not only is it frustrating running your own shit, but it's frustrating when you're not making a fucking penny out of it! I am out for this fucking operation at least $4,000 fucking dollars fucking trying to put this fucking shit up, man. And it's fucking constant. It's fucking, oh, like this happened, that happened, this fucking happened, that. It fucking sucks! I'm fucking tired. I'm just tired of this shit, man. I'm serious. I'm sorry, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating as fucking hell. Oh, my God. Anyway, folks, I'm sorry, man. I'm so fucking pissed off. You know, I mean, you try and you fucking try and you fucking try and you try to make shit fucking perfect, and you know what? You know, shit always fucks up. You know what I mean? I'm fucking tired of it, man. I'm tired. I'm fucking tired of this shit. Seriously, man. You know, it's frustrating. It's fucking frustrating. I don't know what to do. I'm not even joking, man. I don't even want to do the fucking broadcast. I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm so fucking pissed off. I gotta take a break, man. I'm sorry. I gotta fucking take a break, or I'm gonna end the broadcast. I'm not kidding, man. I mean, it's fucking, if it's not one fucking thing, it's another! And I'm fucking tired of this shit, man! Fuck! Fuck! I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm so fucking tired. I'm sorry, folks, if you're like, hey, Ghost, why don't you calm down? I can't fucking calm down, man. It's always fucking something, man. Always fucking something. Look, I'll be right back, man. If I don't fucking get out of here, I'm gonna fucking not do the broadcast. I'm not even kidding. So I'm gonna be right back. All right, I'm gonna fucking put on some the intro music for a few minutes before I fucking blow my fucking lid, man. All right. I mean, all I'm trying to do is do a fucking broadcast, and, you know, here we go. I got a fucking blackout, for Christ's sake, man. Fucking bullshit, man. Anyway, I'll be right back, folks. I'll be right back. All right, we're back, man. All right. All right. Look, sorry I went a little haywire after the fucking blackout, but, I mean, you have to understand, folks, I put in a lot of time, effort, and energy. I'm down, I don't know how many fucking thousands of dollars on this whole fucking setup here. I mean, great, I can do shit like this. Hey, I can do shit like this. Hi, I can do shit like this. Great, I can do shit like that. Great. I'm fucking still down like $3 fucking grand, for Christ's sake, on this fucking crap. Anyway, listen, look. Let me calm down. Let me get back to what I was talking about. Once again, I was talking about how the president tells Iran never to threaten the U.S. again or suffer the fucking consequences. And this, of course, was after the Iranian president, what's the name, Hassan Rouhani, threatens the U.S. with the, quote, mother of all wars. But let me tell you something right now. I would not have a problem with the United States making a move on Iran at this point in time. They're a paper fucking tiger. They are nothing, okay? The only thing they have is their little satellite terrorist organizations that they fund. Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and then, of course, the people they're funding in Syria to protect Bashar al-Assad. That's it. They just have their terrorist satellites. That's it. Domestically, they're nothing. And whether it's the U.S. unilaterally or the United States, Israel, or the United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm tired of hearing Iran, and not to mention, I want to know what Iran has over the Obama administration. I want to know what Iran has over the EU for them to continuously pay them off. I mean, now that the President Trump, has ripped apart the Iranian nuke deal that Obama orchestrated, why does the EU want to continue that Iranian nuke deal? What does Iran have over these people? That's what we want to know. And because Iran refuses to sit down with Trump at the negotiating table and instead want a saber rattle, well, then maybe we may have to forcibly go in there and find this out for ourselves. And I'm telling you right now, if we go into Iran, the people of Iran would be joyously just having a fucking party. They'd be throwing goddamn roses at us. You want to know why? Because they don't want to be living under this fundamentalist shit anymore. These people are secular. They love America. They want to be Americanized. They're tired of this fucking Sharia fundamentalist bullshit. So anyway, let me move on to another subject, folks. We've unfortunately wasted time because, yours truly had a blackout or something, and as a result, we're sitting over here... I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's up, man. Anyway, listen. I don't know what that blackout was. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what's going on. But they just put a blackout, and look, it ruins my zone. You know what I mean? It ruins my fucking zone. So I'm sorry. We're moving back. We're moving on with the broadcast. My apologies for the downtime, man. My apologies. Anyway, let's continue going on here. Let's talk a little bit about how the president, aside from him threatening Iran, he also threatened to revoke the security clearances of Obama-era government officials, such as McCabe, Comey, Brennan, the former CIA director, Clapper, NSA director, Susan Rice, Michael Hayden. I mean, and I don't blame the president, man. It seems as if these people with their security clearance are trying to act in a cabal-type fashion to bring down the president. I mean, these are the most vocal voices in the mainstream media trying to degrade the president, trying to spread slanderous lies about the president. I mean, it was the former CIA Brennan who said that the, quote, meeting with Putin was, quote, treasonous. And what treasonous is what Brennan did as the CIA director. I mean, lest we forget, this man was the CIA director during the reign of ISIS. And truth be told, folks, ISIS was funded, trained, and armed by the United States of America. I mean, truth be told, that's why Michael Flynn, the former National Security Advisor for the Trump campaign in 2016, the former general, the former head of the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is the CIA for the Pentagon, it was Michael T. Flynn that came out publicly that stated, he blatantly stated in an Al Jazeera interview, that it was Obama's willful decision to arm, train, and fund ISIS. And who are the operatives to do such an operation? It would be the CIA. And lest we forget that Brennan, John Brennan, the goddamn former CIA director, is a Wahhabist. I mean, he turned Muslim. I mean, not even Snopes can say yay or nay on whether or not John Brennan can convert it to Islam. So when Snopes can't even lie about it, then what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Unless we forget that John Brennan knows fluent Arabic. Why the fuck would you know fluent Arabic unless you have some level of kinship to Islam? And this is why you had ISIS running amok, folks. I mean, don't you find it odd? I know that there's so many things, so much news that comes your way, that it's occasionally, kind of hard to remember a lot of things, but don't you find it kind of odd that ISIS was running amok during the last part of the second tenure of the Obama administration? Remember, Obama couldn't do anything. ISIS was just going across the Middle East, chopping off heads, chopping off Christians, killing Christians, and supposedly the Obama administration couldn't do anything. They couldn't stop them. Then comes Trump. 98% of ISIS operations have been completely destroyed. And you want to know what it took just to completely destroy ISIS operations? Is to pull the operation from the CIA that was not only funding, arming, and training these Yehudis, but that were out there directing these Yehudis who to attack, where to attack, etc. etc. So I don't blame the president for wanting to revoke the security clearance of McCabe, who's already has been fired from the FBI in disgrace. James Comey, the same goddamn thing. We just talked about the former CIA director Brennan. James Clapper, we've already seen him come out and lie many a time. Susan Rice, this was the stupid broad that claimed that the Benghazi incident was caused by some stupid 2-bit C-grade video about Islam. When in actuality, folks, at this point in time, you all know that Benghazi was not a consulate, it was not an embassy, it was a CIA outhouse to gun run guns that were coming in from Turkey and then distribute them to the Yehudis in Benghazi. And if you don't believe me, why was Ambassador Stevens? And by the way, Ambassador Stevens had a kinship for the Middle East. He was fluent in Arabic. He traveled the Middle East throughout his college. He has a degree in Middle Eastern studies. That's why he was the ambassador. Why was the ambassador in that Benghazi safe house guarded by CIA agents? If it was a consulate, if it was any kind of an embassy, Ambassador Stevens would have been guarded by the military. He was not. He was not. And truth be told, that's why, and what did I tell y'all like a couple of shows ago, that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are down with the CIA. They are CIA. They helped the CIA distribute cocaine in the 80s by allowing cocaine shipments from South America to come in through Mena, Arkansas. That's M-E-N-A. Look it up. Look up Mena, Arkansas. Guess what? Bill Clinton was the governor of Arkansas at that time. And he was completely complicit and aware that there were drug shipments coming into the Mena, Arkansas airport and being distributed all over the country. I mean, that's when he was recruited by the CIA. That's why when he was elected, he wasn't elected, he was selected. He was selected. I mean, look at the Bushes and the Clintons now. They vacation with each other. They have Christmas with each other. You've got the old man Bush calling Bill Clinton his son. You've got Bush Jr. calling Bill Clinton his brother. I mean, these are all CIA operatives. These are all CIA. And by the way, did y'all hear the report did y'all read the report that I reposted on my Gab that stated that Peter Strzok was CIA within the FBI? Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that week prior to these reports happening? Anyway, once again, the president threatens to revoke the security clearance of Obama-era government officials, and I don't blame him. And I think he should do it as soon as possible, if you want my opinion. Now, let me get to some other news here, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Hollywood. But I wanted to get about one more piece of news relating to the president. Did you all hear that the Judicial Watch, and let me tell you, Judicial Watch is a great right-wing legal organization. We should support Judicial Watch in everything that it does. It is literally the ACLU of the right wing. And I want to say what's going on to Tom Fitton, who's out there doing God's work in the judicial branch. And for you that weren't aware, Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch won a Freedom of Information Act request to release the FISA warrant that justified the surveilling of the Trump campaign, folks. And the FBI, according to reports, told the FISA court that it, quote, did not believe that Christopher Steele was the source of the September 2016 Michael Isikoff article that implicated Carter Page in Russia collusion. Now, because this is what the FBI told the FISA courts, that they saw this report that was in Yahoo News written by Michael Isikoff in September of 2016 that implicated Carter Page in Russia collusion. And the FBI told the FISA courts that that's why they were justifying the request for the FISA warrant. And they absolutely lied to the FISA judge about the origin of the infamous Russian dossier. They claimed that it did not come from Christopher Steele. Christopher Steele, of course, is the former MI6 operative who was the compiler of the Russian dossier for his employer, Fusion GPS. And guess who paid for that Russian dossier? I mean, Hillary Clinton said she did. And if you want my opinion, folks, I think that the FBI, in my opinion, paid for this document as well. And you want to know how I believe that they did? It is documented, folks, that Christopher Steele, this compiler of the Russian dossier, former MI6 specialty in Russia, that this man was an FBI informant. Yeah, Christopher Steele was an FBI informant. And you know, when you're an FBI informant, folks, you get paid. You get paid for the information that you provide the FBI. And if you want my opinion, it's not fact yet. Just wait till the documents come out. But I believe that the FBI paid Christopher Steele as well as the DNC for this Russian dossier that was put together by Christopher Steele and Russians that were used to gather this information. I mean, that's the collusion right there, and yet we still have this witch hunt of Robert Mueller pursuing a president on a bogus witch hunt charge of Russia-Trump collusion when there hasn't been any evidence of any Russia-Trump collusion at all. I mean, folks, we are already almost a year and a half into this goddamn investigation and this so-called special counsel. Over $20 million in taxpayer dollars spent. For what? So that Robert Mueller could persecute Paul Manafort? And y'all heard me on Friday. I feel bad for Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort didn't do anything that the Podesta brothers didn't do. And guess who's getting immunity to testify against old Manafort? None other than Tony Podesta. I mean, folks, how much more evidence do you need that this swamp in Washington, D.C. is all trying to protect itself? How much more evidence do you need that these assholes in Washington, D.C. are not just corrupt, they're criminal? And as the more and more information comes out, you can't turn a blind eye to this. You have to get loud. You got to get vocal. You've got to show the so-called authorities that you know how corrupt they are, that you know how criminal they are, and that sooner or later, if they continue down this road, if they don't remove themselves or we physically remove them, they're going to have a serious problem with the masses of this country. So once again, folks, Judicial Watch thanked them for the Freedom of Information Act request to release this FISA warrant because it proves that the FBI lied to the judge to obtain this FISA warrant. Now, the unfortunate fact, folks, is because of a recent, I think that this Supreme Court ruling, I think was about, 8 years ago? 5 to 8 years ago. It is legal for law enforcement to lie to you. Always remember that, folks. It is legal for law enforcement to lie to you to gather information. Always remember that. And this came out of a Supreme Court case that happened, I think, 5 to 8 years ago. So, I don't know whether or not if it's legal for the FBI to lie to a federal court, especially a secret federal court like FISA. But I'm telling you this right now, you as an individual, the FBI, the cops, any form of law enforcement can lie to you in an attempt to try to implicate you in a crime. So that's why you have the right to remain silent. That's why you shouldn't say anything. Shouldn't say anything. Because then they have to build a case. And, if they're building a case based upon impugning upon your Fourth Amendment rights, then, they've got a serious problem. And I don't mean to make this as a footnote, but, that's why you should cooperate with the police if there is a threat of violence from the police. And just say out loud that you're complying under physical duress and physical attack from this person, and make sure to say that all out loud, because I'm not trying to say that the police are the enemy, folks. I'm not. But what I'm saying is with anybody with any power. I mean, if you belong to a chat room, when you give somebody a mod status or admin status or have any kind of power in the chat room, it goes to their head. It goes to their head. I had somebody leave the fucking inner circle because they weren't the admin of the inner circle anymore. And by the way, everybody in the inner circle, when the guy left, everybody's like, man, I'm glad that fucking guy left, man. That guy was a piece of shit. Every time you were gone, Ghost, this guy would be like, he thought he was fucking God in the chat room. And I was like, good God, are you serious? I mean, this is how people are. And that's how people are going to be as police officers. And based upon the text between Peter Strzok and his horse-faced lover, Lisa Page, we now know that bias is in the FBI as well. So I'm just simply telling you all, take care of yourself, all right? I'm just saying, take care of yourself. And by the way, support Judicial Watch. Anything Judicial Watch puts out, it is legit. Tom Fitton, cheers, baby. I thank you for the Freedom of Information Act request. Thank you for getting this FISA warrant released. And it justifies what Donald Trump has been saying all along, that this is a rigged system, that this was a complete witch hunt, that all this was based on fabrications, lies, deception, and that's what it's turning out to be, isn't it? That's what it's turning out to be. Thank God. And why is Robert Mueller still having the authority to continue with his special counsel? You know that he's about to prosecute Paul Manafort this Wednesday in a Virginia courtroom, for Christ's sake? And, of course, he gave the Podestas immunity because, they're going to testify against Paul Manafort. The Podestas did the same thing as Manafort. But, of course, Manafort got the delegates for Trump. And as I've stated many times, Paul Manafort's a political operative. He's a political consultant. You don't think that he used a little bit of pressure on these delegates for them to kind of sway them into making sure that they gave the nomination to Trump? Of course. Of course. Anyway, let me continue on, all right? Thank you very much, Judicial Watch, and let's try to see if we can continue to discredit this Robert Mueller special counsel. I'm serious. Let's see if we can continue to discredit it. This man needs to be investigated himself. I mean, even liberal lawyers like Alan Dershowitz are saying that what Robert Mueller is doing is jeopardizing the very foundation of justice itself. And he isn't talking about an independent counsel. He's talking about an independent commission of outsiders to get into what Robert Mueller was doing and what's been going on to supposedly get down to the bottom of things. But we all know the last commission, right? What was the last? Was it the Warren Commission that talked about the JFK assassination? Whatever the last commission was. I think it was the Watergate Commission. That's right. Anyway, any commission you got, it isn't going to get to the bottom of anything. All commissions do is write the historical narrative. That's all they do. They just write the historical narrative. I mean, even George W. Bush said that. George H.W., George Bush Sr., the old man. Did y'all hear him during the eulogy of Gerald Ford? Did y'all hear him? If y'all haven't, I would strongly advise you right now, if you want to see something very freaked out and how evil George Bush Sr. is, why don't you YouTube search right now, George H.W. Bush, Gerald Ford funeral, and I want you to watch him speak a eulogy at Gerald Ford's funeral in which he actually talks about the JFK assassination and laughs when he makes the reference to a lone gunman. That's how sick George H.W. Bush is, man. That's how evil this guy is. This guy's at a goddamn eulogy for an ex-president, Gerald Ford, and the reason that he invoked JFK in that eulogy is because Gerald Ford was a part of the Warren Commission. And in that same speech, in that same eulogy, George Bush Jr. says, no matter what the conspiracy theorists may say, the Warren Commission will have the true historical truth of what happened that very day. That's what he says. That's what he said. So I'm just saying, all right? I'm just saying. I mean, why do you think George H.W. Bush refuses to die? I think he's afraid to die. I think he's afraid. I think he's afraid about what he's going to see in that afterlife for all the evil shit that he did in this planet. I'm not kidding around. I think he's afraid to die. I mean, I thought that he'd be gone by now that Barbara's gone, because he loved Barbara. He loved Barbara, man, but I think he's afraid. I think he's scared to go into the afterlife, baby. Hey, and by the way, thank you very much, Pickles the drummer. I'm going to repost the video for you folks that just want reference of the actual George H.W. Bush eulogy of Gerald Ford. Check out my Gab. I just posted it up. Take a look for yourself. He laughs referencing the JFK lone gunman assassination. I mean, what a sick bastard. And then, of course, says, you conspiracy theorists may say what you will, but the Warren Commission will have the final truth. And, what a sick asshole. What a sick asshole. Anyway, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody you know, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is ghost.report. All right, that's all you have to type in your browser. It's that simple. Add it to your bookmarks, add it to your favorites. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, if you have not done so, please follow me on my only social media representation on the Internet today, and that's on Gab, folks. If you don't have a Gab account, well, then, by God, get yourself one. It is the last bastion of freedom of speech in social media today. If you want to get yourself a free account, go ahead and get one right now. Type this in your browser, gab.ai. And you can follow me on that social media under the name Politics Ghost. All right? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. All right? Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, okay? And I want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. How you doing, man? I'm seeing everybody at Capitalist America, Birds of Prey, Insane Energy, Hambone Capitalist, Mule Dog Gaming, TCR 396 Best Episode. What's up, Eagle Cock? What's up, Maine? We got a lot of people in here. Who else do we have in here? We got Hawk Lake Milk. We got Ice Cap in the house. We got Jingo Bert. We got Prince in the place. We got Sparked in the house. Tesla Cyberheart. We've got Walkaway Master. We've got Black Star Tribe, BP in the house. Chalice, Dab on them tards. Dab on them tards. Come on, man. Anyway, what's going on to everybody in here in the True Capitalist Radio chat room? If you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, I will be in the chat room live after the broadcast. You want to come kick back with us? All you got to do is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab and let me know your let me know your Discord chat name, excuse me. All right, give me a private message on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name. Once you hit that subscribe button, and you will be invited to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. Now that we've gotten that all out of the way, it's time for us to talk about some serious business. All right? And I want to talk a little bit about Hollywood and pedophilia, folks. All right? Hollywood and pedophilia. And the reason I'm bringing this up, folks, is because we have two major Hollywood figures that have been, I guess, brought out into the public about joking about, and I'm not joking about this either, they are, I guess, having jokes and cracks about raping babies. Now, if you did not view the Gab post that I posted earlier this afternoon promoting today's show, I would strongly advise you to go ahead and do so. Go down a couple of posts. It says, tonight on True Capitalist Radio, we discuss the video circulating of Dan Harmon, creator of Rick and Morty, simulating rape on a baby. And we do have some Capitalist Army investigators that have uncovered a potential child trafficking ring within Hollywood. Now, before I get to that, folks, I want to talk a little bit about the two characters that are making the rounds in the news cycle in relation to pedophilia. Now, Dan Harmon, of course, is the creator of Rick and Morty. There are videos of him circulating around, videos of a project called Daryl that he obviously made in 2009. These videos were found, obviously, by people that were, scouring the internet, man. I mean, the internet never forgets, folks. And they found these videos in which it is clearly Dan Harmon, younger, simulating raping a baby on a baby doll. On a baby doll as he's narrating in a very sick, disgusting manner. Now, what do I mean by, simulating rape? What I mean is that in the video, Harmon himself actually drops trowel, shows his big hairy ass and his little wang, and actually begins to stick his little wang into the baby doll. I'm not joking, like simulating raping babies, for Christ's sake, man! Simulating raping babies, for fuck's sake, man! I mean, this is what the creator of fucking Rick and Morty is doing out here! That's why I am sick of this cartoon fetish! What did I tell you all about all these people with all these cartoon fetishes, man? Especially if you're over the age of 18, 21. If you're over those ages and you're still watching cartoons, what does it all lead to? Pedophilia! Pedophilia is what it all leads to. That's why you should be very suspect about some man or somebody over the age of 18 that is infatuated with cartoons, that is infatuated with the fandom of cartoons. You should be very concerned about those folks. You should be very concerned about those folks, because I'm telling you from first-hand experience, many of these goddamn people that are infatuated with goddamn cartoons are a bunch of Woody Allen butt-loving pedophiles. Straight up. Now, since these baby rape simulated videos of the creator of Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon, have been circulating the internets, Dan Harmon has since deleted his Twitter. Oh, why are you going to delete your Twitter? Why are you going to delete your Twitter? Oh! I mean, he deletes his Twitter like it's all going to go away. Like it's all going to go away. Hey, Dan Harmon, those goddamn videos are circulating the internets all over the goddamn place. And it ain't never going away. You and your disgusting fat hairy ass with your little wang simulating baby rape on a fucking baby doll. And I'm telling you, folks, it's about time that you start understanding that this Hollywood thing is not just a Hollywood pedophile thing. It's a leftist thing. It's a Democrat thing. I mean, what is the LGBTQ, which is left in political nature, what is the LGBTQ doing now? I've talked about this on many shows. LGBTQ are now a protected class. And now that they're a protected class, and if you happen to hit them and say faggot or something, it's now a federal hate crime. Now that it's acceptable for these people to go out and have oral copulation between two men across the street from an elementary school, and it's protected by the First Amendment, now that they have all these rights, now that they can marry, what are the LGBTQ doing? They're going after your children. They're going after your children, for Christ's sake, and that's what I'm telling you. It all leads back to children when it comes to these Democrats, with these leftists. They want to make it okay to have sexual relations with children. And it all comes back to that, folks. I mean, Hollywood, how many times do we have to go through this? How many leftists do we have to expose as Woody Allen butt-loving pedophiles? How many of these people do we have to expose before you realize that if you're for the Democrats and if you're for the left, that you're for sexualizing children? That you're for pedophilia? Yeah, this is Dan Harmon. He's a mainstream leftist. He hates Trump. He's been talking a bunch of leftist garbage. And lo and behold, I mean, this is a video circulating of the creator of Rick and Morty from 2009. From 2009. Of him dropping trowel. I'm talking on video. You see his hairy ass. You see his little wang. And he's simulating raping a baby doll. And you see, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? I'm sure Dan Harmon, if we got him and we sat him down and asked him, hey, Dan, you sick, twisted, fat-in-the-ass, man-child, autistic pervert, why the fuck did you do this? Why did you do this, Dan Harmon? Why are you simulating baby rape? And you know what he's going to say? I'll tell you what he's going to say. Dude, it's just a joke, dude. It's just funny. I'm just trying to be edgy. I'm just trying to be comedically edgy, dude. You know? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be edgy. I mean, you shouldn't joke, first of all, about pedophilia, let alone having yourself really in real life drop trowel and pretend that you're penetrating a fucking baby. And why are they trying to joke about pedophilia? Because they're trying to desensitize it, man. Don't you understand? This is the next step in leftism. I mean, I find it ironic and also disgusting that these same leftists are the same ones who are arguing that they supposedly care about these immigrant children that are being separated from their parents. Huh? Makes you wonder, why are they so concerned about immigrant children being separated from their parents when they're trying to sexualize our children here in this country? Now, this is not an isolated incident, folks. Another Hollywood mainstream hotshot unfortunately got his clock cleaned digitally because he's a leftist and he's a Democrat and he hates Trump. And I'm talking about this asshole, James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. He recently tried to pick a fight with the right wing and talk garbage. He thought he was a little quick, little sarcastic, little funny, cute, little arrogant prick on Twitter. But then when those of us on the right decided that we were going to go look into his Twitter, and let's go back deep. Let's go back far back in his Twitter. And lo and behold, folks, we found tweets that were unbelievably horrid. And once again, what's the common theme with these tweets? He's joking about pedophilia. He's joking about pedophilia, for Christ's sake. And look, even though James Gunn is trying to delete his Twitter, now that old tweets that he posted are coming back to haunt him, he's trying to delete his Twitter, but you know what? The internet never goes away. It's still around, James. And we've got all these tweets. And I want to just let you listen to some of the tweets that were in the actual background of James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy. I want you to hear some of the things that he calls, quote, a joke. This tweet was 9:49 a.m., March 12, 2011. James Gunn. This hotel shower is the weakest ever. Felt like a 3-year-old was peeing on my head. Oh, look at this guy, huh? Huh? Look at this. Look at this right here. Here's another tweet. This is on April 4th, 2009. He's actually tweeting at somebody and saying, I remember my first NAMBLA meeting. Yeah, he said that. It was the first time I felt being okay with who I am. Some of those guys are my BFFs. And if you're not familiar with what NAMBLA is, it is the North American Man-Boy Love Association. Yeah, this is a leftist organization. It was founded December 2nd, 1978, NAMBLA. Huh? How you like that? How do you like that? How do you like that? Let me continue going. Look, there are many tweets. Let me go ahead and talk about what he thought about. Do you remember American Idol? Do you remember where that little fruity little Indian kid named Sanjaya was on there? Remember Sanjay? He was a kid. He was like, 14-year-old kid trying to be American Idol. Well, James Gunn tweeted on December 17, 2008 at 2:41 p.m., he tweeted the following: leading in votes on which American Idol contestant I should rape. Sanjaya with 12 votes, followed by Constantine with 3 votes. You know, now rape is funny. Child molestation and rape is funny with these leftists. I mean, are you understanding this common theme here? I mean, this is what leftists think is funny. This is comedy, huh? This is edgy out here, isn't it, huh? Give me a fucking break. James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. Let me read you a couple of more, okay? He's tweeting at somebody. This is July 5th, 2009, 8:51 a.m. He states the following: I like it when little boys touch me in my silly place. Shh. I'm not joking. These are real tweets. And look, after the show, I'll go ahead and tweet all I'll gab, I should say, all these tweets. They're all screenshotted. I've got a link to them, so just in case you want to pass them around out here, okay? Let me give you one more. This is James Gunn. This is August 27th, 2008, 10:10 a.m. Just made a joke about ass raping my friend when she was asleep. And you wonder why all these leftists are raping and child molesting? This is an insight to the mind of your average, everyday leftist right here, all right? This is the insight of your average, everyday mind. And not to mention, you would think that since he was a leftist, you know, he'd be, okay, with certain groups of people, like the LGBTQ. Well, let me read you this tweet that he put out at 2:46 p.m., June 10th, 2008. He tweeted the following: laughter is the best medicine. That's why I laugh with people with AIDS. I mean, isn't this guy a leftist? I mean, shouldn't this guy be pro-AIDS or something? And look, he makes fun of Mexicans, too. Let's look at this, okay? Mr. Leftist James Gunn, he tweeted this on June 30th, 2008 at 7:23 p.m. He tweeted the following: I burnt my tongue on an enchilada, you fucking Mexicans. I mean, I'm not joking. It never stops. It never stops. I mean, look at this. Here's another one here. This is August 15th, 2010, okay? The Expendables was so manly, I fucked the shit out of the little pussy boy next to me. The boys are back in town. Yeah. I mean, this is not a joke, man. I mean, I'm gonna continue going. One more, and then I'll stop. February 4, 2009 at 9:30 p.m., he tweeted the following: this may be the plant version of adopting a damaged 12-year-old girl who steals your money and accuses you of molesting her. I mean, I can't. I mean, these are just so sick. But this is it. This is Hollywood joking about pedophilia, joking about rape. This is it, huh? Now, if those tweets aren't shocking enough, believe it or not, Disney has fired James Gunn. And believe it or not, he actually has people who starred in Guardians of the Galaxy coming out in his defense. They're actually trying to justify these tweets. I mean, what is that stupid ex-wrestler, that muscle-bound freak Batista? This guy's coming out for him, trying to take up for old James Gunn. You've got other co-stars of this goddamn Guardians of the Galaxy that are trying to vouch for this pedophile. And on top of that, folks, there is actually a petition going around. A petition to force Disney to rehire James Gunn. And guess how many signatures that petition has? 250,000 pro-pedophile signatures. I mean, do you understand where the left is coming from? I mean, 250,000 signatures on a petition? That's leftism right there. That's Democrats. That's socialism. That's communism. That's LGBTQ. That's feminism. That's all that balled into one. And I'm telling you, folks, what the hell is it going to take before we start realizing that it is a battle? It is a battle against good versus evil. And what more evil is it than to victimize a child? And if you are some sick maniac who wants to victimize a child, what easier place than Hollywood to get your prey, to get as many victims as possible. Now, I'm going to get into a exclusive that the Capitalist Army has been investigating. And we're going to bring in one of the Capitalist Army members on the broadcast here in just a second. But let me give you what happened. Since all this has hit the fan, Dan Harmon, James Gunn, and all this conversation about pedophilia has began, you had people that are related to Hollywood coming out on various social media basically stating that they have to tell the truth, that they can't keep it inside anymore, etc. And as a result, one of our members of the Capitalist Army was able to get into a DM exchange with a character actor in Hollywood. I'm not too sure if I should say his name, but we'll just call him Isaac. Okay? And this is not a troll. This is like kind of a B actor, so to speak. And one of the members of the Capitalist Army got into a conversation in direct message on Twitter with this B actor, and you're not going to believe what this son of a bitch said. We're going to talk here in the next couple of minutes about what this gentleman said and what he has been exposed to, what he's privy to, and we're gonna air it all out. We're gonna air it all out right here, right now on the broadcast. All right. So with that being said, here, let me go ahead and call the True Capitalist Radio Capitalist Army member here, and wait for him to get into the chat room. Oh, he's here already. There we go. Well, without any further ado, let me go ahead and turn this up here really fast. What's going on? Are you there, Trumpet?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead and talk again so I can see if you have good levels here.
Yeah, well, I did get an interview. What you said is true. I got an interview with Isaac from Twitter. We got some major information from him shortly before an unfortunate and deliberate event happened.
Yeah, let me get into some background here. Now, what happened was that you got... well, hold on just a second. Okay, now what happened was that you actually got... you got into an email exchange with this fellow Isaac. This fellow Isaac is a B-movie actor, and you have screenshotted everything and have given the screenshots to me, so just in case anything happens. Now, as you were getting into this detailed conversation with Isaac, who lives in Hollywood, who is a B-movie actor, as you were getting into this conversation, he was about to unleash some very, very sensitive information relating to the culprits of potential child trafficking. That's when Twitter, in the midst of your DM exchange with this individual, decided to ban not only the account that you were doing the direct message in, but they also banned your account that was unrelated to anything related to your account, to your blog. So you are, from now on, because of that DM, you can no longer be a part of Twitter. You can't register for Twitter. It won't let you get another Twitter account, etc. Is that correct?
That is correct. However, his account was not banned. It's still up. Mine is. And it was not an email exchange. It was a DM exchange over Twitter, and it was exclusively over Twitter.
Yeah, it was a DM exchange over Twitter, exclusively over Twitter. Now, the person that you were talking to, his Twitter is still up, and you've attempted to try to get in contact with him again, but Twitter will not allow you to get another account. Now, I do want to talk about some of the things that this gentleman was saying. Can you start off with the beginning of the conversation?
Yes, I can. Let me just pull up the beginning of the thread. This started last night, shortly after I was alerted to somebody from the True Capitalist Radio chat room that alerted me to this profile, and I was eager to get in contact with him, and I attempted to get in contact with him at about 8:30 last night. About 30 minutes after I sent the first message in which I wanted to talk to him, he started off his conversation saying, "It is the linchpin." I asked him what the linchpin was, and he used the word pedophilia. And I asked him why he referenced pedophilia with linchpin. And what he said is that they use it on kids to break them and disassociate them so that they will be pillable and follow their handlers. And I immediately asked him after that how long he had seen this go on and how many kids he had thought had happened to him. And he said they use it on multiple kids. He didn't give me a ballpark estimate. He said multiple kids to break them and so on and so forth. And he said he became aware of this last April, which was April 2017. It was in a viper's den, and he had no idea how pervasive it was until he found out people that he knew and were close friends with and even he loved were part of it. I asked him what the viper's den was, and he said to me it was a trafficking ring. It was the middle of a trafficking ring, hidden from his sight until Pizzagate came up, and he saw all the signs in his mist.
All right. Now, you said that he didn't see the signs that were there all around him as it pertains to Hollywood pedophilia until Pizzagate started becoming prevalent. And when Pizzagate started becoming prevalent, that's when the signs started coming out, and he started identifying this child trafficking ring. Now, who did he allege? This is all alleged. Who did he allege was at the head of this child trafficking ring in Hollywood right now?
He said he alleged two people at first. He gave me a few more names, but this is alleged. I can't confirm it. He gave me the first two names, which were Seth Green and his wife Claire Grant. I asked him, how deeply they were involved. He said that they were involved bigly. And at this point, not so much because of what was going on in Los Angeles and everybody, quote-unquote, shitting bricks, per se. And I asked him, if they were how long they've been a part of this group. And he said he can't remember how long they have been, but he knew about their involvement late April last year, which was 2017. I asked him if the group had a specific name or if there was a code word for the trafficking ring. He said that he could not remember the name and he was not aware of one. And I also asked him who else was a part of it and if he could remember the names. He gave me 4 other names, and again, this is all alleged. I don't have, definitive proof, but I have the screenshots of the chat. He gave me the 4 names which he alleged were in the ring, which is David Yarovsky, Matt Cohen, Dan Ferguson, and James Gunn.
Whoa, James Gunn. I mean, we're just talking about James Gunn. Now, you did say Seth Green and his wife were at the helm of this child trafficking ring. Now, I mean, of course, this is alleged, but it would make sense that Seth Green would be the head or at least a recruiter of these types of children because he himself was a child actor. I think that one of the first child movies that I saw Seth Green in, I think he was like 3 or 4 years old. So this is a lifelong Hollywood member, and lest we forget, I mean, we were just talking about Dan Harmon, the creator of Rick and Morty, and how he was simulating baby rape. Lest we forget that we have Seth Green, a big-time player within the Adult Swim networking of this type of content. Remember, he has a couple of shows that he produces himself. So, I mean, it makes sense Now, the other names, we know James Gunn. Do you have any idea who the other guys are? Are they... the Cohen guy sounds to me like somebody who's probably an agent. I mean, are these lawyers? Do you know the other guys in the 4 names that he gave out after Seth Green and his wife?
I know I did research on 2 of the guys. The first one I did research on, Yorovsky, was actually the first director for the first 2 Guardian of the Galaxies movies. And Dan Ferguson is not a big-name Hollywood star, but he is a producer for the Conan O'Brien show.
Whoa, Dan Ferguson, a producer for the Conan O'Brien show. And, of course, the first guy you mentioned, a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy again. Is that why you have these cast members trying to come to the defense of James Gunn? I mean, these people have to know something. And the person you were talking to, I can assure everyone who's listening, this was a legitimate B actor. His Twitter is many years old, has many tweets on it. He's living in L.A. He's been in several movies, etc. As a B actor, of course. And now he's seeing the light, and he, in good conscience, can't keep it to himself anymore, and that's why he confided in Trumpin in a DM, and continue on with the DM, and up until the point in which, for whatever reason, Twitter decided, which is the first I've ever heard in my life, where Twitter bans you right in the middle of a direct message. I mean, that implicates, first of all, Twitter does look after your direct message. They're obviously scoping in on direct messages. And secondly, they are obviously culprits, since they're trying to stop the conversation about such a subject matter. They're obviously culprits, or at least at the very minimum aiding, abetting this pedophile ring that this man was trying to unearth to you. I mean, that says a lot about where Twitter's coming from, right?
That is correct. And I will continue on with the DM conversation. After he gave me the names, I asked him if they were all soliciting kids and trafficking them for favors and cash. He gave me 2 DMs. He said the first one, birds of a feather flock together, and the second one, he said, it's my understanding that there is a network of casting directors that are involved. I asked him how many and if he could give me a ballpark estimate, and he said he had no idea how many children had been involved, but from the looks of Gunn's Twitter, it's all he can think about. And another message he gave to me in DMs, and this one struck me particularly hard and is a big indicator of what's going on. He said, many parents will allow their child to be used and abused for roles in Hollywood. I also asked him, are you or were you close friends with some of these casting directors? He said no. He could not give me details, but he did say that Seth alluded to that in his conversations. I asked him about the conversations and what those conversations entailed, and at this point in time, he had heard something out of his, I believe he lived...
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've got the whole transcript that you gave to me, all the screenshots. It actually states, hold on, I hear something outside. So, yeah, this guy is obviously a little paranoid, to say the least, because once anybody decides to blow the whistle on any kind of pedophilic activity in Hollywood, they're completely destroyed, if not killed.
That is correct. And after he had come back, he began to go into full detail of exactly his experience with Mr. Green and his wife Claire, and I will put it into first-term perspective. He wrote me the following. All right, well, I first met Seth and Claire through some mutual friends playing a game called Mafia. It is a popular game in some Hollywood circles. James Gunn plays this, although I've never played with him. Seth plays, Dito Yarvo plays, and a lot of people whose names you are familiar with. I would recommend you look at my Instagram of the pictures that I'm tagged in. Anyways, in 2016, there was a new Mafia game starting up at Dane Cook's house. This is also alleged.
Did you say Dane Cook, the comedian?
That is correct.
All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
He's also said, I invited Claire and told him that they should come play. Through that, we became pretty good friends. And I literally had no idea at the time that anything was happening for a long time. Seth and Claire were the sweetest people to me. I love them. I would visit with Claire and gossip about dumb Hollywood stuff. That is, until Pizzagate hit. I would talk about it with her. I was like, yo, this Pizzagate thing is effed up. Through that, she shared with me that her transgender sister, a biological male, had become a prostitute at age 15 in Memphis. Claire said she once had to pick up money for her sister at a hotel, and Bill Clinton was there. This is alleged, but this was duly noted. At this point, I should have switched on my spidey senses a bit, but Seth and Claire were so effing sweet that it did not cross my mind that they could become mixed up in such a thing. Well, I went to a party in Malibu, and I think of March last year, 2017, with the Mafia gang. It was a fun time, and at the end of the night, it was just Seth and his brother and his brother-in-law, Bill. Everyone had been drinking a bit, so inhibitions were loose. Please excuse the phone in the background. Then what happened really made me realize that shit was getting deep. Seth opened a secret door behind a bookcase and said, "This is where we keep the children." There was a secret bedroom. He types the words, "holy shit.gif." And at this time, he takes a quick break. I believe he had another incident at that time.
Yeah, he stepped away to check outside and that sort of thing. He comes back, and it's when he comes back after this is when you get banned from Twitter, right?
It took about an hour after that second leave, so on and so forth, but we did also get a little bit more information, a little bit more deep into the conversation. This is the second part of it. He said, okay, so after he showed me the bedroom, we left and drove back to Studio City, where my car was, at a guy named, and this is also alleged that he's in the group, Tyler Shields' house. As I was getting out, I, quote-unquote, lost my phone, never to be seen again. I have speculation about the phone, but it's just that, speculation. Anyways, when I first got home, I was worried, but I wanted to laugh it all off because I thought it was a joke. Side note, as we were leaving the Malibu house, I noticed that something smelled horrible, like literal death. I also asked him if he was contacting anybody on his phone and if that may be the reason why his phone went missing. He said, well, my speculation is that they wanted the phone to go through it and see who I was talking to and what I was saying. But again, that is pure speculation. So anyways, I wanted to just play it cool and not cause any waves. Plus, I thought I could laugh it off and really, really wanted to believe it was a joke. And I asked him when he found out that it was not a joke at all, or when it hit him that it might not be a joke at all. And he said, when I was over at Seth and Claire's one afternoon, and Seth said, we need to have a talk about chicken. I asked him what the term chicken meant. And he said to me that chicken is a pedophile code for children. Whoa. And having thoroughly researched Pizzagate, he knew about the symbols and code words. And he said it hit him like a quote-unquote ton of bricks.
So Seth Green was trying to prod at him on, whether or not he knew this or he was into this, something like that?
Yes, he was trying to discuss what I believe is rituals with the person of my source. So anyway, he says he lost his appetite immediately. We were eating dinner at the table at the time. And he basically was coming clean about pedophilia. I asked if they did rituals and sacrificed people. He said they didn't. That's from Isaac's point of view. And I asked him, what happened after he said this? Did you leave immediately? And he said, no, I didn't leave immediately. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I talked to them for a bit, and to be quite honest, I don't remember all of it. I was just in shock and brokenhearted and concerned for my immediate safety. It was a tidal wave of emotions. I probably was there another 30 to 40 minutes before I left. Funnily enough, I left to go play Mafia, the game, at Dane's house. And then I approached him and I said, now in one tweet you posted tonight, this was last night, you tagged Paris Jackson about a party last summer in which you asked about a boy that was there and came up to you and asked for Seth. Can you describe that party? He told me we are getting there, he's trying to be as thorough as possible. At this point in time, I asked him what happened after that meeting with Seth and Claire, and at this point in time that there's a 30-minute gap from his end in which I don't hear anything, and I was assumed that something had happened to him, but he came back about 15 minutes later, and he began talking again. He said, well, there was a party, I believe, the following Sunday at their house, although my dates are a little bit hazy. The chicken comment was on a Friday. Anyways, before the party, I got his text. And he showed me a text in which showed Paris Jackson and Macaulay Culkin in a this is a text exchange, by the way, between him and Mr. Green, in which Mr. Green shared him a image or an article in which Paris Jackson is holding Macaulay Culkin in a sexualized manner, per se. And it was at this point in time he also said to me, in the comments section, which had since been scrubbed, there was a comment by the Illuminati which linked to the Illuminati Facebook page. I know it seems ridiculous, but there were a bunch of comments that seemed very relatable to my situation. The one that stood out most was an offer of $250,000 a year, any car you wanted to live anywhere in the world for free. So I got to the party, and at one point, Dan Ferguson, friend of theirs, not anyone famous but is a producer at Conan O'Brien, starts talking about cars. He asked me what I drove. I think I told him a Ferrari. I don't drive a Ferrari, but I thought it was funny. He then talked about my Hyundai, my actual car, a true piece of crap. So I was like, all right, this dude knows what car I drive. This is getting weird. And what you didn't see when I sent the DMs to you was I also asked him if he felt weird at that party or if anything felt out of place. He told me that the party felt like an 80s cult party, and at that exact moment, my account was first locked and then I was suspended.
Oh, man. So right when you started getting down to the actual descriptions of the parties, that's when that was it. Twitter thought, we're going to go ahead and oy vey, shut it down, and that was it. And you said that you tried to log into another account that was unrelated to the stuff that you do for your blog and for True Capitalist Radio, and it was just for gaming. That one was already banned and locked. And then you tried to create a new one, and there was no way. You even VPN'd it, and there was no way that they completely have locked you out of Twitter.
That is correct. And at this point in time, there was actually a little bit more to the story. I had used another person that was in contact with my source. I'm not going to say his name, but he was in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. I told him that I used him as a medium man to continue contacting with the source. I was able to create an account through that VPN for about 5 minutes before I was locked, in which I had told the source that I had screenshotted everything and that he had also screenshotted everything in the fear that he would be banned off of Twitter. And before I was locked out of my account again and then banned, I told him that he was more than likely in imminent danger and that he needed to leave Los Angeles as soon as possible. And at that point, my account through that VPN was suspended. And I used my middleman again to contact Isaac, in which he said that he was almost in fear for his life and that I was trying to see if I can move him over to the Gab so we can continue the discussion, but he said that his phone and his internet were not working properly at the time.
Oh, man. So his phone and internet were not working properly at the time. This is in Los Angeles. I mean, you know, this is pedophilia capital of the world. I'm going to be honest with you. I checked into this guy. This guy seems legitimate. As far as his acting is concerned, he is a legitimate B actor. What do you think about the allegations that he has put forth? I mean, it seems to me, just based on the circumstances, that it's very plausible, even though it's all alleged. I mean, how many more of these people have to come out before we realize that, you know, Hollywood is a very sick fucking place, right?
That is correct. I have no idea if this is true or not. This is all pure allegation. But the fact that he was talking in such a detailed manner and remembered most of everything is a sign that this is legitimate. Now, I'm not going to go on the record and say that this is legitimate, but I'm going to continue investigating and seeing if I could reach out to anybody else that may have a similar story and would like to get it out.
Now, are you planning on writing any of this down? Are you planning on, trying to document this so that anybody who wants to kind of click links and go into this rabbit hole of disgusting Pizzagate-like pedophilia, you planning on doing that?
Yes, I am planning on doing it as soon as possible. I have no idea when it will be finished, but I will try to get it out as soon as possible. in a clear and effective manner so that the people of America can understand that this is not a joke, that this is real, that this is, even though this is allegations, this did happen, and we're going to try and convey that message as basic as possible to the American public.
Well, man, I'm telling you, when I first heard about this and what y'all did in the and that's why I keep telling you, I mean, this is what's happening in the True Capitalist Army, right? Our True Capitalist Radio chat room. I mean, this is an investigation that culminated from the chat room, from the brainstorming of different folk. Am I correct?
That is correct.
And that's why I keep telling people the True Capitalist Radio chat room is where it's at, man. And I want to say thank you very much for doing your investigations, and the rest of the people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room that contributed. Do you want any final thoughts? Do you have any comments or anything that you want to say? This was a very, very crazy incident. Obviously, this guy who divulged this information should be taking the necessary precautions to save himself, etc. Do you have anything to say, man?
Yes, I do have a few things to say. I'll be as brief as possible, but this is my first thought, and this is to my source. If you are by any means listening to this broadcast, or if you're listening to me right now, I need you to do two things for me. You need to create a Gab account so we can continue this discussion, and you need to leave Los Angeles as soon as possible. Your life is probably, or more than likely, in danger. And my second thought is, if there's anybody else out there that is listening to this broadcast and has a similar story, please contact me through Gab as soon as possible. My Gab is The God of Rage. If you have anything to say, contact me as soon as possible, and I will make sure that your voice is heard.
All right, Trumpin. Well, thank you very much for doing everything that you can within your power to, unearth this information. Very, very serious stuff, and, stay safe, man, especially yourself now that you have this information.
I will take care of myself. Thank you very much for having me on tonight.
All right, no problem. Thank you for coming on, man. Once again, folks, I mean, good God. I mean, we are in some serious investigative work, to say the least. And what is it? What does it come down to? Hollywood and pedophilia. Now, the only reason that this person was able to come out and be public about this is because of the videos of the Rick and Morty creator Dan Harmon and his simulation of rape on a baby in his so-called 2009 Project Daryl. This is all jokes, according to Hollywood. It's funny to make fun of babies getting raped, huh? It's funny to make fun of pedophilia. I mean, this is what Hollywood is trying to do. This is what the left is trying to do. They are trying to desensitize pedophilia so that the general American public can accept it. And not just the American public, the Western civilization will accept it. I mean, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago in Australia, believe it or not. I got a lot of Australians that listen to the broadcast. They told me that on ABC, their version of ABC, which is their government-funded network, believe it or not, it's funded by the government of Australia, they actually were promoting the notion that you as an adult need to have the consent of your toddler in order to change her diaper or its diaper. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? I mean, what slippery slope is that going down? That you need your toddler's consent to change their dirty, soiled diaper? They are trying to go down the slippery slope of sexual consent, folks. Do you understand? I'm telling you, you can deny it all you want to, but this is an objective of the left. This is an objective of the LGBTQ community. This is the objective of Democrats. I mean, do you think it's any correlation that Islam and liberals are in some kind of a political marriage right now against the right? I mean, what do they have in common? What does the left have in common with Islam? Islam is throwing homosexual off buildings and executing them, chopping off their heads. I mean, Islam doesn't like trannies. They're suppressing women. I mean, what is the bond that's bringing the left and Islam together? Folks, it's pedophilia. It's pedophilia. Because lest we forget, folks, that in Islam, it's perfectly okay to marry a 9-year-old girl. I mean, isn't that what the Prophet Muhammad did? Aisha? Huh? He married 9-year-old Aisha. She was just fine to just marry and deflower. Huh? That is the common denominator, folks. That's why you have Democrats, leftists, and Islamists coming together in a political marriage. There is no other linkage or no other type of direct correlation with these people other than the fact that they want pedophilia legal. Because like I said, the Islamists, they want to throw gays from goddamn buildings. They want to behead anybody who is going against the Prophet, against the book of the Quran, going against Sharia law. They want to suppress women and throw goddamn burqas on them. What is the thread that brings the left, the Democrats, and the Islamists together? Pedophilia! They both want to desensitize populations and make it okay to just go ahead and have sexual relations with children. I mean, folks, you try to tell me I'm wrong. I mean, what other connection does the left have with Islam? It's just the fact that they want to have children sexualized. Because as I stated, Islam has nothing to do with the left. They don't like gays. They think gays should be executed. They don't like women's rights. You know what I'm saying? They don't like freedom. You know what I mean? They believe in Sharia law. They believe in praying 5 times a day. It's a fundamentalist, patriarch type of religion. And you know, why is it that the left and all these people are correlating with Islam? There is no other explanation. There is no other explanation other than the fact that these two groups are sexualizing children. And that's why I'm telling each and every one of you, you better start recognizing that that's the difference between us and them. That's the difference between us and them. We want to preserve childhood. We want to protect the innocence of childhood. We want to make sure that children are not exposed to not just homosexuality, heterosexuality. We want to preserve the innocence of children until they are of age to make a decision on what sexuality or whatever kind of sexual acts that they want to go into. We're trying to protect womanhood and preserve manhood on the right. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to promote a union between man and woman because that is the natural state of humanity. You need a mother and father to raise a child, and that's what we're promoting here on the right. What are they promoting on the left? The sexualization of your child. The segregation of women. Or I should say the subjugation of women. I mean, I can go on and on, folks. I mean, you have to understand, that's the difference between us and them. Anyway, I've gotten, man, I'm sorry about the power outage that we had here for about 30 seconds. I don't know what the hell that was about. We are having a heat wave out here in Texas. It was like 105, 106 degrees Fahrenheit in San Antonio. So I'm sure we were working the electrical grid. And, I'm sure that's a consequence of working the electrical grid, man. I mean, 30-second little blackout there. But it fucked with my goddamn broadcast. And I don't know how it's going. I don't know how it recorded as far as it on my end. So, the archived episode of this broadcast may take a little bit because I may have to put 2 pieces together and make it one, etc., all right? But before we go, I want to get to the last part of the broadcast. I know we talked a lot about Hollywood, pedophilia, great interview with Trumpin and the expose that he did. We were talking about POTUS. We talked a little bit about how Judicial Watch wins a Freedom of Information Act request to release the FISA warrant. I want to talk a little bit about this mass shooting in Toronto. Now, it happened, I believe, last night. 2 dead, a 10-year-old girl and an 18-year-old female, 13 wounded. Now, the initial video that came out showed a culprit in all black that just kind of went up and started shooting restaurants and cafes in this kind of busy district of Toronto. And this suspect was just, I guess, shooting indiscriminately. Now, at first, I thought maybe it was Antifa. Because, every time I say it's the religion of peace, I've got some numbnut somewhere on Gab saying, why do you have to be so judgmental? What if it isn't? I mean, Islam is a religion of peace, or whatever, all right? And not to mention, he was wearing all black, and I made a judgment call that maybe it was ISIS, but then again, or maybe it was Antifa, but then again, Antifa does wear the same thing as ISIS, so... your guess is as good as mine, but according to reports, now it comes out that it was the religion of peace, folks. I'm sorry. It was the religion of peace. Suspect has been identified as Faisal Hussein. He died in a firefight with police in relation to this Toronto mass shooting. The family of Mr. Hussein is saying that the suspect claims... Or excuse me, the suspect Faisal Hussein struggled with psychosis and depression his whole life. So that's what the family of Hussein is saying, that it wasn't the religion of peace, it was psychosis and depression. We just happened to be Muslim. Sorry! I mean, come on, man. I mean, I hope that you Canadians realize that it was the immigration policy of Justin Trudeau that has constantly brought this perpetual Islamic terrorism that seems to be a little bit too common now in Canada. But you see, that's what you liberals wanted. You wanted open borders, and that's what Justin Trudeau gave Canada. Remember when Donald Trump was elected and we started clamping down on our borders? What did Justin Trudeau say? Hey, come on down. Come on down to Canada. Come on, it's okay. Come on over. Well, that particular policy has jeopardized the safety of Canadians. And not to mention, it's not like that little immigration policy that Justin Trudeau has implemented. It's not like it hasn't caused the Canadian people money. I mean, lest we forget that Justin Trudeau sold off the gold reserves of Canada to fund this ridiculous immigration policy. He sold off all the gold reserves of Canada to fund this crap. And now this immigration policy, just like it did with the European Union, it is now coming back to bite them in the ass very, very violently. And I think the Canadians need to hold Justin Trudeau accountable for this. I mean, just like Europe, how many more goddamn Islamic terrorist acts have to be implemented in Canada before these Canadians start calling for the head of Trudeau, for Christ's sake? Once again, religion of peace at it again. Toronto mass shooting. 2 dead. A 10-year-old girl, 18-year-old female, 13 wounded. Suspect identified as Faisal Hussein. Of course, the religion of peace strikes again. Okay? Anyway, let me move on to another subject. Let me move on to another mass shooting. Do y'all remember the mass shooting at Mandalay Bay? Y'all remember that. It was supposedly the biggest mass shooting in American history. And how convenient we've just brushed that under the goddamn rug and just not even talked about it. Just some crazy white man with a whole bunch of AR-15s at the Mandalay Bay just decided, no one still knows the motive supposedly, just decided to just start unloading AR-15s from his hotel room on a concert. I mean, this is what they have us believe here, okay? But just to show you that this, just how much of a false flag this was, okay? The MGM Grand, which owns the Mandalay Bay, The MGM Grand is suing the victims of the Mandalay Bay shooting. Can you believe this shit? I mean, it's not funny. I mean, I can't even fathom. I mean, these are people that lost family members and, you know, lost people, and you've got the MGM who owns the Mandalay Bay. I mean, they are now suing the fucking victims of the shooting. Can you believe this, folks? I mean, you can't make this garbage up. Now, I know many of you are asking, Ghost, how the hell does that work? How the hell does that work? That they're going to sue the victims? I mean, how does that work? Well, let me explain to you what the MGM Resorts International wants. They are suing hundreds of victims of last year's mass shooting. Okay? And they are using a law, a very obscure law that has never been tested by the courts before. Now, this law, even though it may be really unscrupulous, it has not been tested, and this will be the first test of this law. Now, the MGM is not seeking money in the lawsuits filed against these victims of this mass shooting. Instead, the MGM wants the federal courts to declare that it has no liability to the survivors or families of the slain victims under a federal law that was enacted on when? September 11th, 2001. That's right, folks. They're trying to invoke a terror law that was passed under federal law in September 11, 2001. And this law, believe it or not, is under the Department of Homeland Security. And they think by suing the victims that they will be absolved of any kind of liability from this shooting. All right? The MGM lawsuits targets victims who have sued the company and voluntarily dismissed their claims, or who have threatened to sue after the gunman shattered the window of his hotel and fired on the crowd of country music fans. MGM is invoking, and here's the law, folks, Support Anti-Terrorism by Fostering Effective Technologies Act of 2002. This is the law they're using to sue the victims. The Support Anti-Terrorism by Fostering Effective Technologies Act of 2002. It was enacted to urge development and use of anti-terrorism technologies by providing companies a way to limit liability if their, quote, federally certified products or services fail to prevent a terrorist attack. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you, as a company, use federally certified products or services, and those products or services fail to prevent a terrorist attack, then you as the company are absolved of any liability. Okay? And this was enacted after 9/11 because manufacturers and others were concerned that they could be sued out of business after an attack. The law, of course, has never been used to avoid liability after a mass violence or mass shooting, such as like the shooting in Colorado movie theater in 2012, because previous attacks haven't involved services or products certified by Homeland Security. The department has only approved about 1,000 services and technologies, including airport screening equipment and stadium security. MGM said in the lawsuits filed in Nevada, California, Utah, and the other states where these victims reside in, that its security vendor for the outdoor concert venue, Contemporary Services Corp., was federally certified. And because Contemporary Services Corp. Was federally certified, MGM believes that they are absolved of any liability that was caused by the shooting that happened in their hotel at Mandalay Bay. And this is what they're suing the victims for. They don't want, the MGM doesn't want any money. They just want a ruling in favor of the MGM falling under the Support Anti-Terrorism by Fostering Effective Technologies Act of 2002. Now, to be fair, a judge cannot rule, according to the Department of Homeland Security, a judge cannot rule whether or not the MGM falls under this category of absolved liability. It is completely up to the Director of Homeland Security. Now, the Director of Homeland Security has Kristen Nielsen, Secretary Kristen Nielsen. Not only does she have the authority to make the call, and I don't think that she has made the call thus yet. MGM is arguing that Kristen Nielsen not only is the one that makes the authority to call, but her public statements supposedly make clear that the attacks meet the law's requirements. So once again, this is a weird lawsuit that the MGM is holding, and I don't know whether the judge is going to rule or going to throw this out, because this is not under judge's jurisdiction. This is directly under the jurisdiction of the Secretary of Homeland Security. But we shall see what culminates of the MGM Grand suing its victims. I mean, man, that is just hardcore. I mean, what kind of a soulless, disgusting piece of trash are you? You're suing victims that were killed, involving your properties, your services, your events. I mean, what? Just because you had a federally certified security that was overlooking the goddamn concert, you're supposedly going to be absolved of liability? I just can't believe this, man. I just can't believe this. Anyway, look, I'm going to talk about this last subject, and then I'm out of here. Did you hear the European Union Commissioner? This is the only international news we have today, unfortunately. But the European Union Commissioner, Phil Hogan, not Paul Hogan. Paul Hogan was Crocodile Dundee, mate. EU Commissioner Phil Hogan says it's time to, quote, bully Trump back. Quote, we will put him in his place. Can you believe this? I told you this is how these goddamn pompous European pieces of crap think about us Americans, for Christ's sake. We have been overly funding this imbalanced trade deal of, what is it, $180 billion imbalanced trade deal we have with the EU? And because we've been just completely docile in this trade deal and just been constantly giving them this $180 billion on a consistent basis every fucking year, now that we're trying to renegotiate this, the European Union, our, quote, ally, is claiming that it's time to bully back Trump. We will put him in his place, according to the European Union Commissioner Phil Hogan. Can you believe this? I mean, these are our so-called allies. Do you understand why Donald Trump is, playing hardball with the EU? This is how pompous these assholes are. They think that we owe them. We owe them this imbalanced trade deal. Not only do we owe them this imbalanced trade deal, they think that we owe them all the money we give to fucking NATO. We give 4% of our gross domestic product. 4% of our gross domestic product to NATO. And what does NATO do? It protects these European ungrateful faggots. It protects them from who? Russia. And we've been paying this NATO protection, we've been paying this imbalanced trade deal to the European Union for decades. Decades. And now that we want to just, look, Trump is not saying that we want to be even keel, 50-50 in our trade deals. But by God, we've got to knock off some of that deficit. I mean, we're $180 billion in a trade deficit on an annual basis with the EU. The least the EU could do is chop off about $40 billion. Stop the fucking tariffs on American goods and allow us to compete in your markets, allow us to sell American goods in your markets. But they don't want to do that. They're acting like pompous Eurocucks that think that we owe them. They think that we owe them, for Christ's sake, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these EU Eurocucks thinking that we owe them, that the world owes them, and I'm glad Trump is putting these people on notice. And I'm telling you this right now, EU, you want to go to a trade war with America? Bring it on. Because where are you going to offset the $180 billion that you're just expecting to receive on an imbalanced trade deal from America on an annual basis? Where are you going to make up that $180 billion? Where in the hell are you going to make that $180 billion up? You can't. You're not. I mean, as a matter of fact, not only are you not going to make that $180 billion up, but you're now bowing down to Iran. And you're promising Iran that you'll purchase all the sanctioned economics out of Iran. You promise that you're going to supplement that for Iran to continue this Iranian nuke deal. I mean, these are our allies. Remember, EU is supposed to be our fucking allies. These aren't our fucking allies. The EU is not our allies. I mean, you know what? I hope, and I will. It'll be a great day when Trump pulls out of NATO, and tells these Eurocucks, look, go fucking take care of yourself. All right? And you know what? You don't want to trade with us? Go fuck yourself. We don't need you, okay? Get the fuck out of here. We'll go trade with somebody else that's appreciative. I mean, don't you people understand? You don't think that other countries will pull innovation out their ass and roll out the red carpet so that we can spend money in their country? You ungrateful fucks. I mean, that's what I don't understand. And even, like I said, worst case scenario, we don't have any trade deals with the EU, with China. That's almost $800 billion that would have been leaving the United States, staying right here in America. And how is that a negative thing? How is that a bad thing? Can somebody explain that one to me? How is it a bad thing that we're going to keep money that was traditionally going out every fucking year, we're keeping it here in America? How is that a bad thing? It isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. That's why we have all these fucking assholes that think they want to go to a trade war with us. We got them by the balls. And there's nothing they can do about it. They can sit here and talk and yap and fucking yap. That's all they can do. They don't have the economic backbone to sustain such a goddamn economic war with us here in America. They don't have the backbone to do it. And you know what? What are these people going to do? What is China going to do? Is it going to just start a trade war and watch its economic house of cards fall down? Watch people starve to death in China? Destabilize its country? It's got to capitulate in some capacity. I mean, what is the EU going to do? Is it going to just go ahead and allow itself to go into a depression? I mean, seriously, folks, I mean, are they trying to nosedive their own economies? I mean, the thing for them to do is do business with us in America, okay? And like I said, Trump is not asking for a 50-50 even keel deal here. He's just asking, hey, EU, we got a $180 billion annual trade deficit. Can you chop off $40 billion? Can you open up some products for us? Can you stop charging tariffs on some of our products so we can sell it in your fucking country? Same with China. We got a $600 billion trade deficit with China. Hey, China, why don't we cut off $150, $200 billion of it? You still have a surplus on us. I mean, that's all Trump is asking for Christ's sake, and these so-called allies of ours are refusing to oblige after all the shit we've done for these people. I mean, do you understand? We built China. We built the EU. All these fucking international institutions, they were built on tax dollars, for fuck's sake, man. And are we getting any respect for it? Are we getting any credit for it? No. And that's why I'm glad Trump is saying, you know what? Fuck you! EU, China, fuck you! Canada, fuck you! I'm fucking glad he's doing it. Anyway, folks, I have to end this broadcast. Once again, I don't know when this archive is going to go up because I'm probably going to have to put 2 fucking clips together because we had a goddamn power outage right in the middle of the fucking show. And once again, I'm sorry if I got a little off keister during the power outage, but man, I just, you know how it is, man. I'm running my own show out here and, I'm fucking putting all this time, fucking effort and energy into it, and then it fucks up and it just pisses me off. I'm not making money off this shit, all right? I'm not making money off this broadcast, all right? I appreciate everybody who purchased a autograph. Don't get me wrong. You guys, you guys have helped me pay for the switchboard and the extra computers and the services and that sort of thing. But we're still down. I still what did I pay? Almost $400 for the fucking website that I got, and whatever. Either way, I appreciate you guys supporting the broadcast, and for you guys that are listening in, please, if you can, especially if you're making some serious liquid from some of the plays that I'm giving you on the Cryptocurrency Hour, if you could please go to the Cryptocurrency Wishing Well and make some wishes, baby, all right? I'm telling you right now, that helps out the show big time. All right? I mean, Trump and Capitalist, and the guys in the chat room, I throw out some crypto to these guys every now and then when they produce these types of things. So by all means, if you can, go to the Cryptocurrency Wishing Well, throw about 10, 15, 20 buckers of whatever we have there. Just do it, man. You'll be helping out the show, to say the least, all right? Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. Thank you all very much for tuning in with me on this very screwed up edition, unfortunately, episode number 595. Please be patient on the archive listing on this because I'm probably going to have to put 2 clips together, etc. I will be in the chat room after the broadcast. Let me see. It is 9:45. Give me about 10:30, 10:45. I got to get something to eat. I got to kick back for a little bit. I'm not drinking beer. I'm not drinking any alcoholic beverages anymore, so I got to calm down. Probably going to just do some. The grass is warm. The sun is... No, excuse me. I'm sorry. I had it mixed up. You see, I'm already all fucked up. I'm all pissed off. I had it fucking backwards. Let me do it again. The sun is warm. The grass is green. I got to do that, man. I just got to do that. I got to do some, I got to do that stuff, man. I got to calm down. All right, I got to calm down. I wish I had some alcoholic beverages. I can tell you that right damn now. But the only reason I'm not going to have some is because I'm letting myself clean out a little bit, man. I'm letting myself clean out a little bit. And before I go, I would like for y'all to please spread this show around like wildfire, man. You understand? This is an underground show. We're not advertising. We're not out here doing, any kind of self-promotion or anything. The popularity of the show is purely organic. So if you guys could please spread this show around like wildfire, I would completely appreciate it. All right, because other people need to listen to this stuff, man. This show is not only the straight, hardcore, badass of business prognostications of prognostications, baby, but this show is the straight political dope. The straight political dope, man. Anyway, if you want to be a part of the chat room and kick back with us, I'll be in the chat room at about 10:45 p.m. Texas time. Go to my Gab account right now, folks. Go to my Gab. Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will invite you with a personal invite to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, baby. It's that damn easy. As a matter of fact, if you're not in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, man, you're missing out on all kinds of internet tomfoolery. Everybody who was in True Capitalist Radio chat room when we doxed QAnon and we called him up and his grandma picked up, it was pure sides in orbit. It was historic. I mean, you notice that QN, and he hasn't posted anymore. You notice that, right? He's on a vacation all of a sudden. He's on a vacation all of a sudden. He's on a permanent vacation. He's on a permanent vacation courtesy of the capitalist army, baby. You understand that? He's on a permanent vacation courtesy of the capitalist army. But by all means, come on down, be a part of this. A lot of history going on in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Not to mention, folks, this investigation that we talked about today in relation to this child trafficking ring in Hollywood, it was all culminated and investigated in the True Capitalist Radio chat rooms, baby. It was all culminated into the True Capitalist Radio chat rooms. I mean, so come on down, be a part of it. It's great. I love it. I love chilling with these guys. And not to mention, we've kicked out all the tards. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, we had a tard enter in last week. And let me tell you, if you're a tard, like let's say you're somebody who is... And, you probably, if you are a tard, you probably would be able to kind of be down low about it. But for whatever reason, these autists, they just always want to be the center of attention, right? And when you put yourself center of attention, especially in an internet chat room, you got a lot of people trying to find out a little bit about you. And, they do some searches, they do some background checking, and what do you know? You're into anime that looks like children and all this other crap. It never fails. So if you're somebody who likes, cartoons and you're over the age of 21 or you're over the age of 18, don't bother even joining. All right, because the chat room itself will sniff you out. Will sniff you out, for Christ's sake. All right, I'm not even joking. But if you're a serious capitalist, if you like politics, if you want to be in some underground investigative journalism, if you want to partake in some internet tomfoolery, if you want to be in with a tight niche group of people who appreciate True Capitalist Radio, then come on down, baby. Come on down to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Once again, go to my Gab account, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content. And once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab. Give me your Discord name, and I'll give you a private invite, folks. Anyway, thank you all for listening to me. My apologies for the rolling blackout that's happening in Texas. I'm going to see what it did to the recording. I'm supposed to be recording, and I want to see if it all recorded in one recording or if I'm going to have to put recordings together and all this other shit. But either way, folks, thank you very much for tuning in with me. And I beg you, please spread this show around like wildfire. Ghost.report. Anyway, I will be back Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope that you're tuning in with me. Make sure to bring all your friends, your family, your granny, your grandpee, your aunts, your uncles, everybody. I will be here Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, I will see you later. Death to feminism! Death to socialism! And death to communism! I'm out of here, baby! And long live the capitalist army, baby! And let me tell you something. If you don't believe in the capitalist army, baby, then you better watch your ass. I'm out of here! Be here Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. I'm out of here!
And there you have it, folks. This was True Capitalist Radio episode number 595, relaying from here on the Capitalist King Network. And I do hope everybody enjoys tonight's episode. Whoa, what a deep shit this was, man. This episode was deep shit, man. Pedophilia, man. It's no joke. But holy shit. What amount of info. I really want to give a big shout out to Trumpin, man. Trumpin, man, thanks for really giving this info, because this is way too hot, man. This is way too hot. Oh, man. I I feel for you, Trump, and man, just so you keep yourself safe, and just pretty much stay low and go a little profile after that, because man, that is some deep shit right here. This is deep stuff, guys. This is real deep, like truthful deep, the kind of whoa, yeah, I mean, this stuff you can't hear anywhere else. It's just, man. But anyways, guys, I want to give shout outs to the people over the TCR Discord channel, of course, over at the IC chat for listening in, of course, people who are listening in the live feed, YouTube as well, and then of course the people who listen to the archive. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys took this in, because whoa, that's just a lot of stuff here, a lot of stuff that's been pretty much said, and it is really red pilling. Man. Anyways, I want to give some very more shout-outs before I end the broadcast here. But I want to give some info first. So if anybody here is a new listener or is interested in listening to more of Ghosts on this relay of the True Capitalist Radio, why not subscribe, as I do the TCR shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 6:30 p.m. Central is the time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern if you live in the East, 4:30 p.m. Pacific if you live in the West. And of course, if you live somewhere around the country, just Google search the time zone of 6:30 p.m. Central and should convert your time, or just pretty much go to Google search it and then try to go time zones, and 6:30 Central will be this time that the show starts. But if you subscribe and click that bell, you'll be notified for the next TCR show to happen and relayed live. Whenever Ghost goes live, we go live as well, and everything is archived. Yes, the full episode is fully archived, which is you can listen to the Ghost Art Report, or you can listen to here on the relay, which pretty much is all uninterrupted, all uncut, and you pretty much hear all the nonsense and against. If anything is skipped, so you got that. So, but I do highly just you can also just support Ghost and go to the Ghost Art Report and check it out. And of course, support Ghost over his Gab account, which is Politics Ghost. If you follow him, there's some very interesting stuff you should really look and read whenever he posts, and when he does, make sure to really repost and like. That way that the information is spread around, and it really helps Ghost. And of course, you're really helping him out, so that'll be a very nice thing to do. And as well as why not subscribe to his Gab, as of course you'll be especially invited into the TCR Discord chat room, in which it's a very special chat room in which lots of things are uncovered and things are, it is just interesting to be there, and history is made, and of course lots of things do happen, and it's very interesting. And if anybody here is a TCR fan, well, pretty much the TCR disc community is in there, so why not just be a part of it? Easily just subscribe to Ghost over to Politics Ghost Gab account of his, and just make sure to really, as well as DM him your Discord name. If you do the Discord send your Discord name to him, then he should reply you back with the Discord invite, and it's going to be a one-time use only with a time limit, so make sure to, once you receive it, to accept it. Once you do, you're instantly in. Easy as that. Anyways, let me give some shout outs down on the YouTubes, so I can actually end the stream so people can actually listen in to the relay if they really want to, or pretty much everybody should just be out right now if you're watching the live feed as well. So I want to give some shout outs over there to the people on the YouTube chat, but of course there's nobody who subscribed during the broadcast, and of course nobody left tape, so we can just straight ahead and do some YouTube shout outs. And it's simple. If you're in the live chat room feed, then just comment something on the chat room right now, or better yet, just well, I'm just going to scroll up in the archives, but I still go check it out. Anyways, what's going on to Aaron Tumon, Psy TV, what's going on to Mr. Sideswipe Pride, Political Things, Ron Livingstone, and the Lucondrix. Hey, what's going on to Cobra Broadcast TV Channel 2? What's going on? And that's just everybody here. So, well, as far as I know. So I want to give more shout outs where I scroll up. It's going on to Raw Livingstone, who I guess I already said. Zivo 3000, who else? Piranha PJP, Midnight Smiles. Once again, I'm taking some YouTube shoutouts live in the feed, so if you want a shoutout, just say something right now in the chat room right now in the live feeds. What's going on to Magelin? Hey, Magelin, good to see you. What's going on? There is no nuclear annihilation without creation. What's going on to, is it Mike Heister? Mike Heister. I'm scrolling up here in the, on the vlogs, seeing feeds. See who else we had. Joseph Villa Pando. What's going on to you? Who else we have here? Herb Master was here. Nathan Long was here. And let's see. Scrolling up, see who we had. Bonsai Buddy was here. And let's see. Still scrolling up on the live feed here, or in the past feed. So, what's going on to Some Dude 45? And let's see here. Rick Natter was here. Let's see. Hootie was here. Yeah, what's going on to you, Hootie? And that's as far as I can go. Hey, Frankie Mankey, can't miss you right there. Hey, what's going on to you? Yes, Frank. Yes, I actually chose a good game today. Well, actually, no. It's a very. I have yet to finish this game. I kind of want to really finish it. It's Paper Mario: 1,000 Year Door. For those who are wondering what gameplay it is, what game I played, it is Paper Mario: 1,000 Year Door. Very kind of like, man, a decade-old game. But man, I've yet to finish this completely, so I'm actually pretty excited to really replay this. I only got off to like the middle part of the game, but I kind of stopped, and I just stopped and kind of like never went on. So yes, I am gonna replay this, well, pretty much until whatever I stop, because I only remember some parts. But again, this is still fun. This is just fun as I remember. Still the good classic Paper Mario from the N64, but it has a little more mixture of, well, things that pretty much sets apart from it, because, well, it's just a big adventure. And yeah, I just love the the animation when you, like, you know, go through these bridges and just, you know, it's just amazing. Paper, just because I love paper animation, it's kind of cool. Hey, what's going on to Anand? What's going on to you? And so yeah, pretty good game choice. Hopefully I'll actually continue on playing this, but unfortunately I won't be doing any more Paper Mario until next Monday, because this weekend I'm going to be off doing some business stuff outside of town. So unfortunately there will be a stream, but there's not going to be a gameplay of it. So unfortunately no gameplay of Paper until next Monday. It's like, man, I know. But no worries, guys. I'm still gonna be doing the relay broadcast, well, even when I'm out of town, because it's called remote control. You know, it's magic. It is a good time for me to do that. Okay. Oh, and yes, if you're kind of wondering, hey, King, whatever happened to the chats on the stream? Well, I kind of want this to really, just really want to come out and say this. I'm just gonna discontinue doing this chat room, since, well, I mean, YouTube can save the live chat room feed, you know. But then again, I can understand, like, in case of it gets deleted or something, that all the info. Well, to be safe, I just want to make sure that, you know, it's better if I just not post the YouTube feed on it. But I'm trying to see if I can do something else, maybe Twitch, maybe, but I'm not sure at the moment. I'll just leave the YouTube the chat room feed off the stream feed, so, you know, things that cannot be said on the stream feed can say, but you guys can actually read the YouTube feeds when you come back to YouTube. It's there. All the chat feeds always there, all recorded already. But like I said, the only thing that's going to be only downside, if it's really rare, it's on rare occasion, if the stream pretty much goes offline, or not offline, but I'm not like the the chat, well, the stream gets deleted or somewhat, age restrict or something, and something goes wrong with it, then all the memories we had here just pretty much is gone. But no worries, I'm not too really worried about it, so I'm okay with it. I will put some more stuff on the screen. So for the moment, just get some gameplay. I'll add some things that it just keeps it more alive. But I still have the, people can just whenever you subscribe and stuff, it still has that. So no worries. That's not even out. It's always part of it. Oh, that's kind of suck. They discontinued? Oh man, games, Paper Mario games are discontinued. God dang it! The last Paper Mario game was Sticker Star, is it? Oh my god. It was on a DS exclusive, man. The last good this was the very last, it's still the best Paper Mario, outside of, no, the Wii one. I don't know which one is it. Super Paper Mario, was it? Yeah, that one. So, this one, I never played Super Paper Mario, but I've yet to finish this, and I'm kind of excited. I know this is one of the best and the best of every Paper Mario game that's out series, but that kind of sucks. The series has already ended. Sad. Yes, it is last chat. But anyways, how about that Quantum prize, yo? Yes, that Quantum. Man, oh man, if you were like bought it in when it was about $7.70 sometime earlier in the day, or you better yet, past other days, when you had the chance that's below the $8 mark, then you're missing some good stuff here. Oh man, something's not right. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. They deleted all my stuff? Oh man, they actually deleted my stuff. Oh well, oh no, it's still $7.75, but it went down, so that's good. There we go, that's the thing I want. So good to see Quantums are still below the $8 mark. So $7.75 is not bad. Maybe I do say buy some more, especially Zcash. Zcash below 200 mark. Yes, I'm still gonna need to buy a couple of Zcashes here and there. And of course, my favorite basic attention token, in which I do say that that's the best way I. Well, let's just say if anybody who has Brave or anything, and I'm also a part of Brave with its partnership and stuff, it's actually pretty good because the price gets a little bit good if everybody gets watching with the Brave browser, then lots of stuff. And not only that, it's integrated with the if you have the Brave browser, it has the ad blocker integrated, which is pretty cool. Would say download it, and I do have the link for anybody who wants to support this channel, support me. I do have the Brave link right below in the description if you guys want to check it out. It's free, and it's just to say it. And I'm not saying this because I'm not paid advertising to say this. It's just pretty much my opinion, and I'm also have Brave, and it's pretty cool. Love it. But anyways, yeah, basic attention, my good coin, as well as a bit of salt. Oh yeah, even though that's still, they still have to go around and tell everybody about what salt is. I mean, it's gonna take a while for it till everybody gets it, but still say a good price for under $2. But yeah, anyways, that's just about it. I guess I got nothing else much to say. I gotta end the stream. Right now it's already past 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's about to be 10:10 here. So anyways, I'm out of here for the night, guys. I do want to say thanks again, guys, for watching the relay, and shout out to the people in the archives once again for listening in at this end point. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show, and thank you, Ghost, once again toward the broadcast, and of course thank you, Trumpin, for really just saying a lot of red pill and really deep shit. So hopefully this stream doesn't get taken out or anything. So let's just hope so, or better yet, not the video, just the whole video, because this is deep. But I don't think so, because remember, I'm doing some gameplay there. YouTube doesn't say anything if I do gameplay, but whatever it says behind is something differently. So that's the beauty of it that I can get away from with YouTube. It's pretty much gameplay with pretty much an audio that's replacing by the Ghost from True Capitalist Radio, in which you can always listen in each time. And of course, you can watch the archives here, or you can watch it over at Ghost.Report. So either way, it's good. And with that, I am out for tonight, guys. Thanks again. I'll see you guys this Wednesday for the 596 broadcast of True Capitalist Radio. If not, and you're listening to us on some other day, then I'll see you on the next TCR broadcast right here at the Capitalist King Network. This is BN King signing up for tonight, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, good night, buenas noches, hasta mañana, and I'll see you guys next time. And that is the end of that. No, really, that's just the end of it. So I'll see you guys next stream. So later on, guys. Later.